Liver.
Well, all right. Should we talk about the sponsor?
Yeah, I guess so.
So, as you will see later. No, hang on. Let me turn this off. Fuck. Okay. So, today's show is brought to you by Bleria's Prostitution Emporium. You like to receive a hedonistic hack advice laced with platitudes of an impulsive, self-indulgent one-liners from a nihilist wino with dead eyes? Then go find a dime a dozen life coach that ever fucking wear in Utah. That specific example is based exactly on Samantha Shelley, the divorce queen. I'm Blair. I'm telling you, though, if you want that, and if you also would like to get ball gagged and butt blasted, raped and tied up, nipples pinched with pliers, stuff put up your butt and shit. Also, the hell put up their butt. Well, then you've come to the right place for a sex worker with BPD. Gotta watch Blair's latest prostitution infomercial for more details. Self-actualization for your soul and chlamydia for your pole.
Is that the words that you put on the Latter-day Lobsters there?
Yep.
Or did you add some to it?
I added a little bit, but top in promo butt plug $69.69 for my Blair discount.
You snatched it up for him, Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Was that on Mormon Discussions or where was that? Hi, buddy. What you need?
I don't remember where the.
It'll pull up the video. I don't know if anybody knows what's going on. We got Troy. We got. I think that's Casey. We got Blue Meanie. What's up, Blair? We got Blair Real starting us off. Blair Real throwing us all off course.
Blair motherfucker real. If you want to learn how God knocks you to butt fuck, that God you got, he wouldn't put none desire in your head like he put in Blair Real's head, lest he want you to fulfill that desire. That God is a kinky motherfucker, says Blair Real and his dominatrix BPD whore.
So would this a sex whipping, I guess is what it would be. Would this sex whipping, would it cure me?
Of?
I don't my problems.
It's not meant to cure you. Okay?
My childhood trauma.
No. It's not going to cure you. It's not going to fix you. It's not going to change you. It's just going to show you who you always were.
Oh.
Yeah. You were always a degenerate who wanted to wear butt plug foxtails around and get your balls stomped on.
It is on Mormon Discussion. Let's see here. Let's see what this clip says.
I remember having a conversation early in my time doing the Almost Awakened podcast where the topic was kinks. And I shared with the audience, it's and I've been made fun of for it. I don't give a shit. It's not like
we have permission. We're operating on full permission here. This is with consent.
You're about to get made fun of again, buddy.
This is with consent. Yeah.
This is some major kink, but what I am turned on by is when my romantic partner cries, but it's not my fault. I didn't hurt their cause the trouble.
I'm not responsible for this.
I'm not responsible. They had a bad day at work, or somebody did something that disrupted their world, and so they're sad and they're crying, and it turns me on. There, I remember
that is so. I didn't make this clip, so somebody else did. But that is the moment that just threw me off. It like blew my mind because it started making me wondering if all of the happy wife, happy life people, all the everything, that there's just been this kind of kink to the victim or the cryingness or whatever.
There's no fucking way, right? That cannot be. Very many men with that specific, because when you texted us that, you were watching a little bit ahead of us, and I
was just double time.
I was double time too, but I kept having to pause for things. But I kept you would send like stupid messages of what they did,
and you thought I was making
we thought you were at least exaggerating, but probably just joking around. It was what the most retarded version of this person would say. And then one of us would get there, but holy fuck, you weren't joking. And when you texted about the crying thing.
Am I frozen? Are you frozen? Did I freeze? Did you freeze? Are you there? Do you hear me? Oh, we've lost Jared. Can you guys who hears me or who hears Jared out there? I can't tell if it's me frozen or if
I got muted somehow.
Oh, you got muted? I thought I was frozen.
Well, now I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No. Okay.
Troy says he hears me.
It muted.
And now your mic sounds unplugged.
But yeah, I can't hear you now.
Your mic is unplugged.
Oh well, guess we're done. I'm gonna back out and come back in, I guess.
There we go. Yeah, so I have such an opposite kink of that kink. If that's a kink, I have the opposite of that kink, whatever that is. Crying women turtles me the opposite direction, 100%. And worse if it's my fault. Even worse if it is not my fault. Let's see here. Hold on. There's talking. Are you? Is it your mic? Your mic's unplugged. I hear room sound. Oh man, goodness. And my dog's going crazy on me over here. Anyway, answer me out there. Is this a thing? Is this a thing? Like, has this been what all Mormon men have been going through? Is that why they're all such pushovers? Or they're just waiting to appease crying women everywhere? Whenever women are crying, all I want is for it to stop as fast as possible. And I guess I just never thought that it was my penis that would do that for them. Maybe that's what causes it or something.
Okay, there we go.
Got
some stuff unplugged.
You can hear me, but you still sound like room sound.
Well, I'll have to change it. My mic got unplugged.
You're hearing me now, though?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you remember what you were saying?
Yes. Just one sec. Let me find. There we go. That better?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So when he said that, the whole crying thing, I was thinking he was going to say something like cheesy and gay, but like defensible. Like something if you told your buddies this, they'd make fun of you for it, but not a big deal, which would be like, it gets so turned on when we're just making passionate love. And I make her orgasm so hard. She just feeling it so much that she's overwhelmed and she cries and tells me how much she loves me. And that's what I figured it was. But no, it's just like equal parts cringe and dark.
But it also makes me wonder if it's kind of, ubiquitous.
There's no way.
Oh, no?
There's no way.
Because it kind of blew my mind because it's actually made me think that it would explain so much. It would explain so much. Like if everywhere out there, people were kind of into, like maybe they're into the general authorities crying and stuff like that. Like, this is great. Like for me, like any sort of crying at any time just makes me want to hide under a bed or I don't know what.
I know. Anytime I see an adult cry, I'm like, oh my fucking God. Okay. What? Yeah. But no, this is like dark too, because he's like, it's not like it's my wife. If she comes home and she's like, I've had such a shit day, I got fired, I got punched in the face, and I'm brought to tears. So fucking hard right now. What the fuck's wrong with you?
He says he said it before and he got made fun of for it or something.
Well, yeah, as you will, and I'll make fun of you for it because that's hilarious. You weirdo.
I don't know. It does seem like to me that there is a general fetish to get women to cry in Mormonism because they sure seem to try to get them to do it a lot, just like the men. Let's listen to another clip.
If we have a Heavenly Father who knows and loves us so perfectly, then why would he give me this mind and this body and this spirit and this sensuality and this passion and this voice for a reason, and then tell me that I'm not allowed to use it? And if I do use it, then he will no longer allow me to live with him again. What the fuck? What the fuck? That's not the kind of God that I want to believe in. If we have a Heavenly Father,
oh my God, did it cut it off? Because wasn't that the part where she said the God that I believe in is a kinky motherfucker?
I mean, if it keeps going, I guess I could.
So
here it goes.
Okay.
Like what? And so as I was like navigating that, I was like, wait a minute. The God that I know, the God that I believe in, he's a kinky motherfucker.
Oh
Like,
man, you got quite the memory. I didn't even remember that part.
Saying that. God is exactly like me, always, by the way. And he knew that. Jesus, hardline capitalist, definitely would have voted Republican, but would have been a huge Reagan fan, right? He would have called Bernie Sanders a fag. That's what God would have done.
Whatever God is, yeah, the God I want to believe in is the God that must be there.
God would love smoking pot, yo. Jesus would just like smoke pot with us and do orgies and shit, like if he were here.
The God I would believe in wouldn't be against me just playing video games all day. Video games, and then if I need some sort of a sex kink fixed, I just go to a fixer like this for $125 an hour. Is this prostitution? So this is like
it's absolutely prostitution. It's totally.
So she does the sex for the prostitution. So we got Bill Rhea as soon as he gets his trauma coach stuff. As soon as he gets his it's straight to, all right, guys. Here's the prostitution to cure all your ills. Joyce says, I used to think faith in God was a faith thing. Apparently, it's actually a personal validation thing. Yeah, that's the weird thing for me, because I mean that's obviously been true throughout history, but then it becomes like more true the more people get away from it, because like, well, the God I believe must like all the things that I like and all that sorts of stuff. But then they obviously did that back in old times. But I always tended to believe people more who had a God that was making them do shit that was real shitty and hard and difficult. And like I believe that you believe a little bit here. I was just learning about Philip II the Habsburg, and he spent his entire life just kind of bored it away because he had gout in his foot, and he just sat praying every single day and working on the kingdom and all that sorts of stuff. And he was like some sort of super Catholic psycho. I'm like, I kind of believe that guy believed in a God, that kind of whipped him around, made stuff a little bit more difficult on him. I guess that's like.
We got RFM in the chat. He's going to go tell Bill that we're clowning on him. Don't tell it. We want to get in good with him, RFM. We're really wanting to move up in this space.
I'm guessing that RFM got invited to that one and he passed.
He's a kick-ass mofo.
I'll sit this one out.
Nah. I got Shakespeare to read.
God is not a kinky mofo, but he does watch RFM. Well, that's the type of kink. I saw earlier today that Brad Whitbeck, the Angel of All Angels, has called RFM a demon. So
yeah, I saw RFM post about that. I didn't have time to read the whole thing though.
I read it. Pretty convincing. But no, it was just Brad's general sense or something like that. I don't know why I felt like that. I was there that night, and it seemed all jovial and pleasant to me the whole entire thing.
Wait, was he talking about the debate they had?
He said when he met him, he could sense that he was just somebody who enjoyed in making others uncomfortable.
Well, sorry, RFM, we got to trust him on that one.
Yeah.
He made Maven very uncomfortable.
That is true. and I enjoyed that one. So maybe I'm the demon.
Yeah, I guess we're demons too. I love making Maven uncomfortable too.
I think here's a second one. Oops.
Wait a minute. The God that I know, the God that I believe in, he's a kinky motherfucker.
Oh, no, it is. It's a continued part of that other one.
Let's be honest, okay? Like, you look around and you can sexualize the shit out of anything. You can be like, oh, I had a shit day. Oh, man, my day fucked me hard. That really gave me a good one. Like, oh, I was spanked today. Oh, thank you. Thank you for spanking me. You remind me that I'm alive,
She's like a porn actress. Everything she does. I was explaining this in the chat, and I was just telling Morgan about it, right? And she does that annoying active listening thing. They always talk about active listening, and there's some people that just totally overdo it. Like when you're in the middle of talking, they'll be like, yeah, and I get it to a degree, but there's some people, and she's one of these people that does it way too much. It's like every third word, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. Really.
She's pretty animated.
She does it. Not just that. Every single one of those. Oh, yes. She said they sound like a porn star faking an orgasm. It's like Bill Reel's over there, like, well, I grew up in the Mormon religion. Oh, yes. And it brought up some sexual trauma for me. And so that's kind of having to deal with that, and it's caused some problems in my sex life. Oh fuck yeah, God!
I'm trying to find the description of Eros here. He's spelling Eros wrong.
The description of Eros is like when you're like, fuck yeah, oh
Well,
yeah.
I like that. I like that Bill Real's girlfriend, what's her name? Teresa Hobbs. She kind of got autistic with like, what are you talking about?
She says, what's Eros?
What are you talking
about? Fuck is what it is. When you say the word fuck a lot. I don't know if you knew this about me, but I used to be more, and I say fuck a lot. And every time I say fuck, I fucking over enunciate it to let you know that I'm fucking saying fuck. Even one of the commenters was trying to tell her, like, it was a commenter who was a fellow degenerate who's like, lady, look, like, I'm big into the kink community and stuff, but all you're doing is saying fuck a lot and like acting like everything makes you wet.
Yeah.
Did she have to be so fucking annoying? Like, she is so annoying to listen to.
Well, that's the BDSM part of it. She's making you tortured.
Oh my God, it worked! Holy
it's
shit!
The exact type of torture you need in a day.
Oh no, I got a boner now. I didn't even realize it.
I'm trying to find the part where she asked about it. I think she's talking about waking up in the morning. Yeah.
Well,
because it doesn't spell Eros right. That's not how you spell Eros. Eros in the Greek is Eros, right?
Oh, I know she said fuck in that one. Just search fuck and.
Sometimes it spells it arrows, like.
Oh really?
Just search word fuck. Like how many times is that?
I'm joking. I'm
gonna see it. Oh, there's only 4.
I miscounted.
Maybe just like has it spelled wrong sometime.
She said fucking a lot too.
I wish I could type in like
I know. Gosh, she does that so much in it. Yeah. You know when people are saying, man, that day really fucked me. They're not saying that in a kinky way. It's not like that turned me on. It's like you were raped by the day. And people typically, men anyway, don't like being raped.
Well, I mean, I guess there's the guys with the kink that want it, and then it helps them heal or something. See, look, it spells it arrows. Arrows.
You're flipped over to her website screenshot.
Oh, so I'm typing it in. It spells it arrows. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, so it's just 125 and you have to have an STI test because I guess it's just trauma coaching.
I was trying to explain this to Morgan. And eventually, I kept telling her, she's like, so this lady's a prostitute? I was like, yeah, she's definitely a prostitute. Eventually I explained it. No, seriously, she's a prostitute. Like, her entire website is laced with innuendo. And like the review on her website is this dude just gushing about how great it was and how she had him do an STI screening first. And Morgan's like, oh, I thought you were being sarcastic when you called her a prostitute. No, I'm being literal. I don't know why else she would need an STI screening. And other than like she's gonna ride your pole.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere around right here. Oh, come on.
From a very young age in Mormonism, that sexuality and sensuality and eros and pleasure is not normal. It's something to be feared. But this is completely normal and it's human. I know, looking back, I was like so confused in the church. I was so confused. I was like, wait a minute. If we have a Heavenly Father who knows us and loves us so perfectly, then why would he give me this mind and this body and the spirit and this sensuality and this passion?
So it's the same part over.
Have you ever like came up with an argument for something while you're just trying to brainstorm arguments for something, and then immediately your brain populates like 4 reasons why that argument's fucking stupid?
Yeah.
So this is what I feel like. She's got to have some part in her brain that populates all these things where she's like, why would God make me want to just ride miles and miles of cock and not want me to do it? And I know that in the back of her head, Ted Bundy, Ted Bundy. Yeah, that argument doesn't work because why would God make Ted Bundy want to slaughter women and then expect him not to do it? Okay, I need a better argument. Bummer. That one felt like a layup, but it was retarded.
It looks like Flip's trying to log in, but something's going weird. They want to connect their mic cam before entering or something like that. I'm trying to find it. Well, she just asked.
Being brave enough just to test the water is to stand in front of the mirror and to actually look at yourself and feel what it feels like. What does it feel like to just touch your own skin? What does it feel like to feel the curves of your own body? Does it bring up shame?
No, she's all doing it on the.
Oh my God! Yeah, I didn't watch it.
I didn't
I just
see it.
listened to it.
What are you feeling? What are you thinking?
Take it off.
Our Eros is about feeling.
Whatever feeling I have when women cry in church is the feeling I'm having right now. And as I stated before, it's the opposite of how Bill Real takes that. It is a. I guess the word's cringe.
Starbase is behind. He said, "I'm behind, but what the fuck? Crying kink? How do you even figure that out?" But you just have a wife that cries a lot, and you notice you constantly want to plow her when she's crying. Which imagine being the wife. Like imagine living with that. You just had the shittiest day of the year at work, and you're like, "Ah, fuck, I can't cry when I can talk to him about how shit. But if I cry, and then you're talking to him, and then like one tear goes down, you're like, oh shit, okay, shit, it's over. Now he wants to fuck."
Kink is not a trauma response. This has been researched over and over. Not a single kink I have in practice is a result of trauma.
Yeah.
They've been part of me from the time I realized I was a sexual being.
Yeah, you're full of shit.
Good-looking woman who can sell sexuality. Kink is deeply personal.
Wait a minute. Hang on. So they've been a part of me from the time I realized I was a sexual being. Okay, at what age do you usually realize you're a sexual being? Because it's usually around puberty. So I wonder if any trauma could have happened to you before you hit puberty. Probably not.
This is the thing that I've been barking at forever. And it came up. I saw that it came up in the Thrive conference because I saw that Tim Rothbone brought it up last night on Mormon Discussions, that they say that the Greg Price guy, and we were all excited for his queer speech. We hope that one comes out so we can hear it. But he said, we're all born female and then turn into males later, which is not true. That's not how that works. But secondly, we're all just genetics and epigenetics. So it's just basically, genetics and epigenetics is just like the same thing that you can say is like, there's no such thing as free will. We're all just these bodies, these things out here, and that's what causes everything. But it brings back the same old response that I always kind of talk about that goes back to Noam Chomsky, who studied this in language acquisition. First, language acquisition that starts happening to you and coming as a part of your life before you're fully cognizant or aware of anything. Your body has hardware. Hardware is loaded. Then the software gets loaded afterwards, and the software starts coming online a long time before you're fully aware of different stuff. And the postmodernists, like I said, if you fully believe the people who said it was just social constructionism, you have libidinal economy, the thing I've talked about since forever from Leotard, who talks about if it were just social constructionism, you should thank the Mormonism you grew up in because it made you gay.
Yeah.
Because that's how that works. You got poured into that mold. You got poured into that chocolate mold. There's a chocolate mold, and you pour the chocolate into it to make a Christmas cookie. You got poured right into that mold to make a gay person, and it comes from your high demand religion, if it's just social constructionism. But now if we look back, like I said, go back and listen to NPR. NPR's Radio Lab talks about Born This Way, and they get into the Supreme Court talking about this stuff, and all the queer theorists who do not want to go the route of Born This Way. They hate Born This Way. They do not like the Born This Way stuff. Why do the queer theorists think that? I think there's probably genetics and all that sorts of stuff.
Well, so your normie progressive, right? Well, they'll try to LARP as a social constructionist just when it's appropriate for their gender social construction, right? Like totally any gender norm or gender presentation is just pure social construction. And then you're like, okay, so what about being gay? Like, and no, you were born with that. Like, okay, so it's just all of the things that fit your worldview. Flip, are you trying to talk? Because we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's up with my camera. I cannot.
I've got an extra one if you need one.
It's not the camera. It's something to do with Chrome, I think.
Yeah, that's how my camera's kept conking like that. That's why I keep using this laptop computer. But Anyway, just to look. So this is the moment, because we were talking about. Hold on a second. 2947. RFM, if you're still there, and I exempt RFM from this stuff because he seemed to check out of this stuff or didn't listen to the whole thing. But it's stuff that grinds my gears. It's the type of stuff that grinds my gears with ex-Mormonism, because we're all the logical world. We're logical world, and then when it comes to sex stuff, we just we're supposed to go full door, But
who's to say? What's to say?
Who's to say? What's to say?
Do you know what I see the whole time? Anytime I would look at this lady, I was like, fuck. Imagine that being your mom, because her kids are probably approaching the age where they'll have access to the internet.
Yeah.
She has 5 kids. And at some point, they might stumble upon this and be like, oh, fuck, mom.
I think of that like a lot of the different porn stars out there. Like if you're a kid who has a porn star mom, are you just never allowed to ever even try to look at porn ever? Because you might, that like might be the best porn to turn ever, is that your mother's a porn star. You don't even want to accidentally come across it at one point.
Your friends are all gonna be like, "You wanna really have a sleepover your place tonight?" No,
those
fuck off.
Comedian ladies that did the God's Loophole song, the parody song.
Loophole.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Like
they had a name like It sounds like
in the ads because I love Jesus.
One of them is
it sounds like Simon and Garfunkel, but they
I know it's something in Oates.
Yeah, that's right, Garfunkel and Oates.
Yeah.
But they're a mom now, and just because they did a parody song about anal sex, they recently put out another song which is all about please don't Google mommy on the internet.
That's funny. Yeah, so this is the St. George Thrive thing this weekend. Seemed all nice and cool, funny stuff. Listening to all the stuff that's going around. But we were already interested in the one in the past, that one there in the middle, Dr. Greg Prince, the queer all-seeing eye sees the church. And I guess he's a believing Mormon who says that stuff. And here's I haven't seen the video, but here's just a kind of generalized description of what it covered.
That's a good point.
So next to our presentation, which one did you like best, Tim?
I really liked Greg Prince's talk.
Can you tell us why?
Tim, come on, man.
It was a queer eye on a Mormon guy, something like that. Well, he went into great detail about how our bodies change. Well, everybody's created female, okay? And then our brains are washed with a fluid that flushes through our brain, and that determines everything about our sexuality and our existence, basically. That's what they
say that.
That's some fluid.
So we're all queer. We're all queer in like a little bit of way.
Space right there. Wow, that's some fluid.
Everyone is born a chick and they're made queer by brainwashing.
We talked about it afterwards. Chemical. Greg and I talked about it afterwards.
I think it's, for those who don't know Greg Prince, he's a
he's a doctor,
member of the church. Not exactly sure where he is on the believing scale, but definitely not orthodox.
He's somewhere around
And I think what's most important to know about his background is he really made his name in life. He came up with some cure for a childhood disease. I don't want to.
I've got something coming out from Harmeet Dillon. Harmeet Dillon just this morning. If you don't know her, she's the person who's in charge of the EEOC right now. Mm-hmm. She's talking about like the biggest stronghold, still holding on to all this type of stuff, is the medical profession. She went into detail about that, but hold on.
Okay, wait. Did this guy really say there was a fluid that washes over?
I don't know. We're hearing it secondhand, but
I want to know this because I hear that argument all the time that everybody starts out female. And like, well, no, it's just that you're indistinguishable. Male and female are indistinguishable.
You're undifferentiated. That's not female. Yeah.
But if we could look at your genes, if we could look at your genes when you are a zygote and see the SRY gene on the Y chromosome of every cell in your like 4-cell body at that time,
but
we would know you're male.
It's also a line. It's also a line that queer activists like to pump out and use all the time to obfuscate and to try to create.
Well, they do, but then that's social construction, because the line of a trans woman is "I was always a woman." A trans man, "I was always a man." That kind of flies in the face of it. It's like, well, no, you weren't. Actually, at one point, you were female.
As female in the womb. It's one of the most common biology myths today, from old science papers to blockbuster movies like Jurassic Park. Some trans-identified males even argue this explains the discomfort they feel in their male bodies, as seen in this Reddit post. The argument claims that because early embryos share the same initial structures, those structures must be female. So everyone begins female.
We're the same
But those early
species.
structures are not female anatomy. They're undifferentiated. Female development is not undifferentiated, nor is it absence of male. It is a specialized pathway guided by genetics, just like male development. For example, genes like WNT4, RSPO1, and FOXL2 actively promote ovary development. And when any of them are lost, testes can form instead. WNT and HOX networks actively build the Mullerian ducts, which become female internal genitalia, and COOP-TF2 eliminates the Wolffian ducts, which would otherwise form the internal male genitalia. Therefore, female development is not a passive default, it requires active signals that drive the female pathway and block the male path. Further, male embryos don't begin with ovaries and transform them into testes. Instead, every embryo starts with bipotential gonads, tissues that can become testes or ovaries depending on genetic signals. All embryos also share early Mullerian and Wolffian ducts and a common cloaca, none yet organized as male or female. This is not female anatomy. It's the undifferentiated or indifferent stage, described clearly in modern developmental biology textbooks, such as this one from Oxford, and various scientific papers, such as this one from biomedical scientists. From here, genes set at conception guide development for both sexes. XY embryos develop the bipotential gonads into testes, eliminate Mullerian ducts, and develop the Wolffian structure.
I'm speeding you up.
XX embryos develop the bipotential gonads into ovaries, eliminate Wolffian ducts, and develop the Mullerian structures. In sum, both sexes start undifferentiated, develop their own sex-specific structures, and actively block the opposite sex pathway. So starting from an undifferentiated state does not mean we all start female. Saying otherwise is like claiming a block of unshaped marble is already a statue. And if you want to test the myth, ask a simple question. Do male embryos begin with ovaries before transforming them into testes? They don't, so the myth collapses. So no, we don't all begin female. We begin genetically sexed, but physically undifferentiated, then develop along the male or female pathway determined by our genes. For more on this, see our beautiful animation, Do We All Begin Female?, which walks you through the story of where the myth originated and what the science says.
That's Paradox Institute if people want to watch the video on it, which is longer, but
Genetic scientist, but he's somewhere in that realm of science.
Yes.
And he's done well for himself. He was one of the lead people in coming up with a cure for a childhood medical issue. And so if anybody in this space is informed enough and intelligent enough to speak on the LGBT, the science side of it.
What?
And he essentially...
Yeah, I remember that. I listened to that today when he said the science side of the LGBT thing. Like, okay, you're getting into really weird territory there.
Okay, well, what was this? Who am I thinking of? Was it Newton that was huge into alchemy?
yeah.
So if anyone's qualified enough to talk on if we're capable of transmuting lead into gold with the spell, it's got to be, the father of modern physics.
Blue Mini says, do scientists give Bill a boner too? I mean, I think they do like the science in that sort of way. The science.
There's no doubt.
Crying lady scientist, maybe.
But this is
that whether one is gay or lesbian or bisexual is really an issue of genetics and epigenetics. And he shared a third thing too, which I'd never heard before and wanted to follow up on. I don't remember what.
You just Google just go to Grok and ask if genetics and epigenetics can predict or demonstrate gayness. No, that's not the world. That's not the thing now. But you can just like the epigenetics thing. People toss out the word epigenetic into the world, and it just like fills in like all the gaps. Like the epigenetics is the god of the gaps of science.
Yeah.
Epigenetics did it. But if RFM's still there, if he wants to get into Radiolab, getting into detail about the Supreme Court and the queer theorists and why they don't like born this way, the queer theorists want it to not be born this way.
Yeah, they need it to not be born this way.
They need it to not be born this way because it cannot be falsified. They do not want falsification on this stuff. So any sort of thing that gets to a place of where it's anything beyond your what's the word for it, the experience or the philosophical word for
Well,
it.
actually, didn't we just learn that
phenomenology, your phenomenological experience?
Well, I remember trying to explain this to Seth when he was talking about how science disproves the existence of a soul, right? That like, no, these people, they're trying their, but everybody, if they want a claim to never be disproven, they will make a claim that is unfalsifiable. And so like the soul is not falsifiable in the same way that like I told him, what if I told you that I have wings? They're intangible, they're invisible, they're in another realm, and they in no way affect the physical world around me. How would you falsify that? And he's like, I mean, I test the air density around them. I test your brain waves. I test this and this. He kept going. You can't. You can't do that. I'm making a claim so absurd that you cannot falsify it. I'm doing that intentionally, and that's the smarter queer theorists realize that they can't do something about born this way because born this way sort of implies that there might be a gay gene.
Well, also, we just learned that
also it implies
one reason why it's very important.
A kid who came and announced to you they needed surgery, which they counted up and gave the numbers. It's been like over 60,000 kids that were medicalized. I have that link somewhere. Sorry, Flip. What were you saying?
We just learned that one of the ways the kid might find out that they're queer is watching porn. And that's why it's important that
we have that from
we should not pass laws that prevent kids from watching porn.
That was taken out of context.
You won't know that your genetics and your epigenetics made you queer until you come across it in porn.
Yeah. Until you see queer porn, how do you even know if you're queer?
I do have that. But yeah, I mean, if you get into, this is one of the things that Leotard got in trouble for his book called The Libidinal Economy, for him going all the way with social constructionism and saying, well, boy, if we make everything nice and dandy, we won't have any gay people anymore because it seems like trauma creates that. You know? and he, of course, denounced his own book at some point later because if it's not just your experiences in the world, it's got something to do with your genetics and epigenetics. But then you have the people who are saying, well, we're all just this. There's no free will. It's all just 100%. God kicked over the first thing, and what's ever happening with our genetics and our things are completely out of our control. And what can you do about it? But I think obviously it's somewhere in the middle of all that sorts of stuff, something to do with your genes and epigenetics. But the queer theorists do not want it falsified. If you could get to a point where you said, oh, I'm two-spirit, I have the two-spirit thing was brought up in Congress too. Like,
was it?
Yeah,
I was thinking today when I listened to that episode, because they talked about how I think Jacob Hansen generally, or specifically, but the Mormon apologists generally, like they won't argue with, like, Bill Reel says, like, he won't argue with me about Mormon history, because I know my stuff inside out, and he'll get beaten on it, and I agree with him. That's true. I think that's why Jacob does avoid that. But meanwhile, you guys want to talk to somebody about queer theory shit who actually knows their shit? You want to, and trans issues, like,
yeah.
I'd love to see that.
Is there not volume on this? Can you?
And the AGs in many states are very clear about that. They're almost jubilant about being able to use these laws to ban young people from accessing content that could be educational if they are queer. And you're a principal, you have LGBT students in your school, and we also know that they're not receiving sex education for queer kids. We know that prurient interest could be, for many people, the very existence of transgender kids. More and more people are saying there simply are no transgender kids. You mentioned the Paxton.
There are no transgender kids. I'm saying it.
There's some intersex kids. There are not transgender.
But I already made the joke in the group, but I'll say it again. Tommy, did you use my credit card to access double penetration dildo porn? It's okay, Mom. I'm queer. You better be, or you're in trouble.
It's back to the kids in the hall thing. He's queer. He's queer. They all go marching out. He's queer. He's queer. He's queer. Hooray!
There's a great, like, my dad is obsessed with Family Guy clips, so he'll show tons of them to me. Family Guy's not that great, but they had this great one where
Sure
Quagmire's dad came out as transgender, like in an episode, like I don't know, 10 years ago or something like that, and in an episode like 5 years ago, he's like in a bar, like dressed up as transgender. He's just watching porn at the counter, and the bartender's like, "Sorry, you can't watch pornography in public spaces." And he goes, "I'm trans." And the bartender goes, "Oh, okay. Do anything you want always."
Yep.
Here. Oh, where's the volume? Oh, there it is.
Approach is defund the police, which is what this says. The entire time. This is so typical of what the Democrats do now. After your policies have transparently failed and led to the deaths of millions of Americans, now you say you've never heard of defunding the police. Your own report recommends it on page after page after page. Let me ask about something else you say. Here's what you say we ought to invest in. Instead of funding the police, here's what we ought to invest in. We need to invest in programs that acknowledge the need for safe space initiatives led by lesbian, gay, bisexual, two-spirit, trans, and gender nonconforming people. What's two-spirit?
Well, look, I don't know exactly. You guys are pulling some interesting quotes.
This is from your report.
If you look at the report, the focus is on investing in violence intervention, outreach workers.
What is you say that you shouldn't invest in the police, but we ought to invest in two-spirit community programs that acknowledge two-spirit.
We are not going to discriminate against that. We're not going to discriminate against any nonprofit.
What is a two-spirit? What is two-spirit? You say don't fund the police, but do fund programs that create safe spaces for two-spirit people. What is? I just want to know. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is.
Well, I honestly, I'm not completely aware of the language or
you wrote the report.
How that was written. But what I'm telling you is that what
is a two-spirit individual? I mean, really, this is your policymakers' playbook. You are the witness called by the Democrats on this committee, so I assume you reflect their views. Well, you don't want to fund the police. You want to fund safe spaces for two-spirit individuals. What is a two-spirit person?
I feel like I'm looking at a two-faced indivial because you talk about
he's a two-spirit.
Words, and I'd like to hear an answer. Here's the answer.
So two-spirit individuals are liars or something like that. So we need to make space for liars.
The answer is,
did you hear he cracked? He laughed at his own words. And he's like, okay, so
solution.
You said two-spirit. What are two-spirit? Like,
I believe that guy. I believe that guy. He doesn't know. He doesn't know it all.
He has no idea what it is.
He's just dumping it into his reports because he's told to dump that stuff into his reports.
You want to invest in goblins?
Okay?
Yeah. Two-spirit, if those people, anybody doesn't know out there, is a thing completely invented by the queer theorists too. They said somebody found in the 90s that one Native American tribe somewhere did the two-spirit thing. So then they announced it was ubiquitous amongst all Native Americans throughout all time. Yeah. And you go ask the Native Americans about it, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" But yeah, I've recommended this a bunch of times because it's almost like impossible to get people to understand that queer theorists do not like Born This Way. And you might be stepping, if you want to be good with the queers, you might be stepping on their toes going the Born This Way route. If you're trying to be well behaved for them, you don't know that and they're the ones who believe that you can do different types of therapies to transition into different types of orientations. They 100% believe that. They don't think that people just from things like stumbling across something on a porn site or something like that, it might change your orientation. Being exposed to different things at different ages might change your orientation. Or I guess just realize what your epigenetics always had to be.
I did enjoy the RFM two-spirit or not two-spirit.
I want to know what RFM's take is on the ritual sex abuse Church of Satan crap.
Oh, they talked about it a little bit. RFM doesn't play with BS, man. Yeah, they brought up the Gordon B. Hinckley. I guess.
I listened to that. I heard them talking about that, but I was thinking because you guys covered the Ward Radio episode with that ding.
I don't think. Yeah, me and Jared did. I don't think RFM and Bill Real have covered that. The guy from. It's like We Are Change Utah or Change for Utah or something. And that guy's actually now been excommunicated, or I don't think excommunicated, but he's banned from all church properties. I saw like a whole letter for it. The guy who Cardin had on, and he's going around and saying that the church has been doing sexual ritualistic abuse, and he had on a woman who said that she'd been impregnated 7 different times underneath the temple and all that stuff. But yeah, Bill Real and Radio Free Mormon were talking yesterday about the claims, I guess it was from one of the God makers, that Gordon B. Hinckley had been doing a bunch of prostitutes, tall black prostitutes.
I thought it was the dingbat guy.
If it turned out Gordon B. Hinckley was doing tall black prostitutes, I'd be kind of like, whoa. If they were of age and they were a BDSM, maybe he was just healing his inner trauma as a child.
Bill Maher would have been there too. He's into that. But no, when the guy, like, somebody super chats and is like, you know, are you, like, if you are, like, because he's hinting around, like, I think that apostles have been involved in this. And somebody's like, all right, well, put your money where your mouth is. What are you talking about? He's like, well, you know, it's easy when you're behind the keyboard and you're not worried about defamation lawsuits. And I'm just like, I wish, because that's the thing. Even when I'm on the same side as Cardin on a subject, Cardin is so unbelievably bad at defending it. But just like, moron, the truth is a legal defense against defamation. If you've got the dirt, then you've got the dirt. If you don't got the dirt, was current apostles couldn't be bad at all. I think that was the argument. Yeah.
I could follow you all the way along, but as soon as you say any of the current apostles could possibly have done something wrong, that's where you lose me.
Well, it feels, I don't know. To me, it feels kind of like when Musk did the Roman salute thing and everyone's calling him a Nazi. And like my lefty friend at work was like, do you see him do the Nazi salute? And people are saying it wasn't Nazi. He's like, yeah, it wasn't Nazi. What, you think so? And I was like, yeah, I don't think he's a Nazi. Like, really? Oh my God. If you found out tomorrow, irrefutable proof that Elon Musk was a Nazi, would you be shocked? I was like, yes. Like there's a lot of things, there are a lot of bad things I could find out about him that wouldn't shock me. Like,
yeah, the whole thing where there's a bunch of pictures of him kissing the wall in Jerusalem, a bunch.
Yeah, I know.
Part like a little bit tough.
Well, that's funny because I said that to him. I was like, I can show you a picture of him in a yarmulke with a Star of David on, kissing the wall in Jerusalem. He's like, well, he's got to pretend he's not Nazi. He's like, well, then why the fuck did he do a Roman salute in front of the entire world? Jesus Christ. And then
AOC and Mom Donnie and who else? Bernie Sanders all do the same motion.
Well, and it reminded me, it reminds me of this. Like there's a lot of things, sleazy-ish things that I could find out irrefutably about modern prophets that I wouldn't be surprised if I found it out. But like if I found out that Gordon B. Hinckley at 90 years old had a bunch of tall black prostitutes coming, I would be a little shocked, honestly.
Yeah. So all that stuff where people go and push like that,
90 still going,
reframing that we've all got queerness in our past because we were all once the previous gender or something like that. It's all part of the whole Foucauldian thing of going and rewriting or saying like, this is how you interpret. There's such a push for it, and it's an ideological push. Just like all those things Harmeet Dillon brought up just this morning. You saw those different women testifying from the medical associations in Congress, and they were asking, can a male get pregnant? And they wouldn't answer. Why are you asking this? Why are you asking this? Why are you politicizing this? We're just medical doctors. Why are you politicizing this? And it's so obvious that they're the ones that are politicizing it. But every single thing that Foucault has ever done, Dad Saves America had a good episode this week on Foucault and how he changed the whole criminal systems because it made everybody stop and say, well, what's mental illness? What's mental illness? And Foucault's what helped bring about all the queerness, because what's a male? What's a man? What's a female? What's, you know, all that sorts of stuff. And just going back and just trying to undo that stuff with just kind of the bullshittery. We've gone over it a million times in here. If there's like an overriding theme of what we constantly talk about, it's Foucault's who's to say that has overrun the academics at the universities and has made them a bigger joke than Cardin's Mormonism.
It's overrun the Mormon Stories Facebook community.
Oh God, yeah.
Who's to say? What's to say?
And I do think it makes him a bigger joke. I mean, they were saying like maybe Gordon B. Hinckley was having prostitutes with hookers, but then the very next day he brings on a hooker to say this is how you cure your childhood trauma.
The fact that there's no biology department anywhere in my country or yours that stood up to the claims of gender ideology and said the obvious truth, which is there are people who have persistent gender dysphoria. That's presumably not their fault. We're sympathetic to them. However, there are two and only two sexes. That has nothing to do with human dynamics. It's a feature of our lineage that goes back long before we were humans. It goes back hundreds of millions of years, in fact. And you cannot change sexes by declaring that you've done so. Every biology department should have said that. Even if most biology departments were confused, there should have been a diversity of opinion. What we got instead was no diversity of opinion whatsoever. We got biology departments playing along with a fiction. And worse, there's no medical school that stood up and said the equivalent. In fact, medical schools have participated in the mutilation of healthy young people, and there was not an uprising. So we can see that our formal education system is not working. This is not the only example, but it's probably the clearest one because we do have 100 or several 100 million years of history to test our modern sensibilities against. That overthrow has resulted in our derailing the primary capacity for a civilization to figure out what is true and proceed from it. And that's a terrifying place to be. The fact that there's no biology department anywhere in my country or yours that stood up to
concerning
problems with the institutions, man. Problems with the institutions. Hold on.
Worked on some of the issues that we're tackling in practice
right now.
That's interesting. This is something actually Chris and I have talked about before. The sort of
that's Harmeet Dillon. She's the person in charge of the EEOC right now, and
of the sort of medical field and public health generally, and why they seem to be sort of particularly virulent in their espousing of these ideologies. I think that's like a interesting question that we won't have time to unpack here. But the question I want to put to you, because I agree with the strategy, okay, start at the top, more influential institutions, apply as much pressure as you can. They respond to that pressure, the financial pressure, the legal pressure, and that those norms then sort of trickle down to the lower levels until...
That wasn't the right part. They were talking about how to address it, but no, she just mentioned it earlier. You can take my word for it. But Rufo and Lomez they have a good show, kind of talking about that stuff. And Rufo's been kind of one of the main persons pushing back against the completely illegal DEI stuff that's been shoved down our throats all these years. But yeah, going back to the Born This Way, the NPR, the Radiolab thing. What's that?
RFM is on board with the queer theory. He asked if anybody knew where Cardin hid the knife he snuck into that airplane. His vagina. Hey, he's gender affirming.
Well, I guess I do have to say touche. Radio Free Mormon has I guess debunked what everything we were saying right there. That is an acceptable use of. Anyway, yeah, the one of the main reasons they don't want it debunkable is because if anybody goes and makes any claim to queerness or transgenderism or different two-spirit stuff, the last thing on earth is they would want is some sort of whatever the things people think is magically going to be one of the things that we can do, like a whole epigenetic test, a test of the whole genome of a person and of all their brain pathways. And we're able to say, oh, yep, results came back. It's true. You are two-spirit. Or, yep, the results came back. It's true. You're not.
Well, it's, yeah, if we could detect a trans gene, because
I would love it. I'd actually be cool. Like, you got the thing or not, we can actually go test and see if this isn't just a social contagion.
Yeah, well, so that's, it always irritates the queer theorists when the normie progressives will always say something about how they've done tests on this and trans women have brains that are more in line with females or whatever. And then the queer theorist is at least smart enough to understand what that means. What that means is, a best case scenario, you could trans a kid who had that test done on him to find out, nope, this is actually he's a girl trapped in a boy's body, and then all the other ones that are just social contagion, like sorry, no, you don't get it because you don't have the condition, because it would be like giving somebody chemo who just says they have cancer.
Yeah. I guess John DeLynn at Thrive talked about being nice to, he wants to continue on his path of being nice to apologists, and that has RFM upset. And I put up this picture. Does this picture look like I'm doing an unfair bad picture of John DeLynn?
It's a rather unflattering picture.
An unflattering picture. Well, guess where I got that from? That is from his own shorts. They put that up as their own shorts. That was I was laughing my head off just taking a picture of it. Like, all right, man, that's your own shorts.
I know. It looks like if John Goodman played Lenny in Of Mice and Men.
A man scores killer discount on flights to Puerto Vallarta. So I had a bit of a problem. Flip, you remember with my ex-wife how I caused the national housing crisis?
That's one of my favorite stories.
Yeah, I caused the national housing crisis because I warned her of it coming. My girlfriend's nowhere near as crazy as that, but I'm getting it a little bit right now because she had a trip to Cancun planned, and I was early on this stuff and started seeing it on Twitter, and I was telling her about it, and she's like, "What are you talking about? Nobody's saying this. It's not out there. What are you?" Because she was very, very set on going to Cancun, and now that she is not going to Cancun, I believe I caused the rise up of. There's a bit of a sense that I caused the death of El Mencho and the rise up of the Mexican cartel.
That is one of my favorite. Like, I remember you telling me that story, and I laughed. Like, I was actually thinking in my head of like the Chris one-liners that I remember. Like,
no, it was actually true. I mean, she actually really treated me like that because.
She's totally BPD crazy chick.
I said that she should sell her house before the housing bubble bursts in Vegas, maybe about 8 months before it happened. And then when it happened, you did this to me. You knew this was happening. I'm like, I warned you. That's what I was doing. I was being nice to you to tell her. If you would have sold, you would have made money on it. Yeah.
But you're bad because she didn't follow your advice.
Yeah. Charles says, what else can we get Chris to manifest into existence? I mean, I'm just predicting stuff that I see out there, but this stuff, I mean, the housing bubble, I think the housing bubble, you remember that movie that came out? I think it was done by the same dude who did like Step Brothers and all that stuff. Who's that guy? He did the Don't Look Up. He does like comic stuff, but he made a movie about the housing bubble. The housing bubble burst. It had like Christian Bale in it and all that sorts of stuff. And
Wolf of Wall Street?
No.
I don't. Sorry, I just came in on that. I was looking at something else.
I remember you saying like part of what made you realize it was coming is because you were in HR of a gigantic company in Nevada, and you were seeing that like at the same time that they were cutting wages, and
nobody made over $15 an hour anywhere, and then there was not a house under $1 million out there.
And then but the owners of the company, like at the same time that they were sucking up all the equity they possibly could as fast as they could in the years preceding the bubble bursting, because they obviously knew it was coming.
The Big Short. You haven't seen the movie The Big Short?
Oh, no, I haven't.
It's a pretty good movie because it's kind of about people going around noticing that the housing bubble is going to burst. And Christian Bale plays the guy who shorted the money thing and made a bunch of money off of shorting it, and everybody thought he was crazy or something like that. But this movie plays it as if only these super big deep finance guys saw it coming and knew what's going on. And it's almost kind of like the same thing as what's happening with our national debt. It was like, no, everybody saw it and knew it was coming. Like, everybody was like, this is bad, but let's just keep going. It's fine. It was like the dog in the fire room meme type stuff.
It's like Mormons talking about how Joseph Smith was prophetic because he predicted the Civil War. Yeah. Well, so did John Adams when they were signing the fucking Declaration.
Just think when Tim Pool finally gets his wish.
Holy shit, he is going to be so mad if Civil War doesn't happen. Like, he's going to be genuinely disappointed.
Yeah, with this movie, you can give the guy who Christian Bale is playing, which I guess is a real guy, you can give that guy some credit because he dared to put short money on it just in time to make money off of when it blew up. But other than that, all the rest of them, like, everybody knew it was coming. You just didn't know when it was going to hit or something like that. Anyway, beating Canada in hockey and taking out top Mexican cartel leader the same day. It's like we dominated both of them in their best sports. So did you guys? There's a reason you feel yucky watching the Olympics right now. What sort of child?
Yucky.
Why do we use
gross? America's so gross.
Icky. There was this. Me and Morgan were watching one of our trash reality shows, and one of the BPD women on there was like trying to just BPD her new boyfriend, and was telling him, just when you did that the other day, it made me feel really uncomfy. Why do we talk like this?
So did you guys follow all the drama with the hockey team?
I guess not.
I mean, a little bit.
Wow.
All I know is that Kash Patel drank a beer and everybody is mad at him for it.
So you guys don't know anything about the gender drama that's going on.
The gender drama. Oh, like where Trump made the joke about.
Trump made the joke. And if I told you that was the only thing that was going on TikTok right now, like there's whole different universes, right? Because Twitter kind of doesn't care about it, but TikTok is just endless videos of people losing their damn minds about that.
Yeah, I know. He made a joke about how
I'm gonna have to invite the women's team too. You know that I'd be impeached if I didn't.
And then everybody
on the 3-minute
his point for him.
Yeah,
they all went out
on the 3-minute phone call that featured a lot of jokes. Trump says that, hey, I'm going to invite you to the White House, but I'm going to also have to invite the U.S. women's hockey team because they won gold, or else I'd be impeached.
What would really be cool, and we'll do the White House the next day, we'll just have some fun. We have medals for you guys. And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that.
As you just saw, a lot of the hockey team laughed along to this, and this has caused some chaos on the internet. This is one of the most insane videos I've ever watched. You know, we have to invite the women's team in the laughter. Every single one of them is going to hell. Would love to know what Jack and Quinn's mother, Ellen, the player development coach for the U.S. Women's Hockey Olympic team, thinks of her son's laugh.
So he just goes through more Twitter, but if you don't believe me, because I think that's so funny, because I was actually kind of imagining that if you guys weren't on TikTok, you just weren't even aware of it at all.
Yeah, I'm not on TikTok.
Every single TikTok video is like.
I was only aware of it because I heard the joke and I was like, oh, yep, they're gonna call that fucking sexist.
What the hell?
And then I listened to the Hill, the Rising segment they got Robbie Suave and then the Lindsay, I can't remember her last name. He's the more conservative, she's the more liberal. They argue it out, and they talked about that joke, and she's like, I do think that's definitely very inappropriate for it's not presidential. It's not. I don't care if it's presidential. I really don't fucking care if it's presidential. Okay, Lyndon B. Johnson pulled out his schlong in front of people. All right, curb your notions of what you think is presidential, right? But
yeah,
also,
there just wasn't Twitter back then.
It was a joke. It was a fucking joke. A joke that if Kamala made it to the women's team, I'd have been like, haha. You know, like it wouldn't have fucking bothered anyone. And so that's what Robbie said. It was like, you can make misogynistic jokes all you want. I'll laugh. They're funny. Okay.
Starbase says the decade of Civil War talk online is like an old couple that fights constantly but won't give their spouse the satisfaction of being divorced. Yeah, I mean that's what this stuff is. But yeah, it was wild to me because I was shocked when I started. I don't go through TikTok all the time. I usually kind of go through it once a week to say, let's see what the crap's going on there, just to see if there's some nuttiness to talk about tomorrow. And this was just an avalanche. I'll just show you 4 or 5.
It's Olympic hockey team, and if you're not part of that, then keep moving on. What the hell, guys? What are you doing? Have you laughed at that joke?
They're laughing at a joke.
However this guy's talking to me is how I feel most of the ex-Mormon communities talk to me for the past 15 years.
Oh, God, yeah.
You're better than that.
Apparently not.
I think every one of you should give an apology to the women's team, to all the girls that play hockey, all the boys that play hockey.
I think you should jump off a bridge, buddy.
It's just so retarded because it's just such a I can't think of the right. It's not quite a gaslight. It's just this ridiculous double standard where they're like, women deserve special treatment, and then Donald Trump's like, yeah, they'd be mad because I don't give women special treatment. How dare he say that we don't think
interviewing Jack Hughes and why he keeps talking. I mean, he's hardly talking. He sounds like he's brain dead, but I think the point of frustration is going over a lot of people's heads. It has very little to do with how close they think they are with the girls' hockey team and how much time they spend doing this and not until 3 a.m. and whatever the fuck. The point is that this whole instance serves as a poignant reminder to women that we are still the butt of a man's joke and that every other man in the room will still laugh. That you could do exactly what a man does, you could do it before him, you could do it better, and you could do it more consistently, and you still not have a man's respect.
did before do it better and more consistently.
I don't know. Is the women's teams like relatively better or something?
Yeah, the American team, because they're rich, is able to do better generally, just like what happens in soccer, as Flips pointed out before. But you're not doing it better when you're winning in that league. But
I wanted to give an honest and vulnerable take on.
No, you don't.
Holy
fuck! Holy fuck!
Going on right now, a take that's probably going to catch me some heat if I'm honest. When I talk about men not wanting to stray from the comfort of male approval, this situation is a great.
Oh my
God! Of male approval.
Of Trump talking to those guys, and he made the joke about the women's team, and they all started laughing. I could feel myself like wanting to laugh along with them. And not because I thought it was funny, it was because it was a group of men all together in a locker room talking to the president of the United States. And because everybody started laughing, I felt that rising vibe of like, it's time to laugh. We made a joke about women, it's time to laugh. And if you're on a journey of trying to deconstruct some of your internalized misogyny, and you're doing it in a genuine way, you're doing it in an authentic way, you're gonna catch yourself, right? It's like your mind gets to observe your own thought patterns, and you're gonna catch yourself. I caught myself wanting to laugh along to
At a funny joke? No way.
You know, I don't want to stray from the comfort of male approval. And after reflecting on that for a while, here's the truth I came to. Okay, here's the truth. Women are the creators of life. Not only do they give birth to and raise our children, but we burden them with the vast majority of the emotional labor of our society and all of the rights that they have claimed for themselves.
How many boners did Bill Reel get just from all the different women crying? Listen to this.
Dude, this guy is gonna get laid.
RFM says, my personal philosophy is if you're going to offend somebody with a joke, it better be pretty fucking funny. That's probably true.
That's close to like
every
the longest time I said the worst thing that you can say about a joke is it's not funny.
Yeah.
Like that's been my take for a long time. But
I don't think the joke was that funny. It was Relief Society laughter.
It was like a chuckle-worthy joke, you know.
That actually reminds me of something because I listened to part of the news roundup, the Biblioteca Bill Reel news roundup.
Mm-hmm.
It just strikes me like Rebecca Biblioteca, like if she wasn't talking about the church as an ex-Mormon, you would just assume that she's still in Relief Society. and I thought
she can play all the songs too.
Well, no, because she's talking about the Mexico thing. And she did the most stereotypical 1985.
Like worried about the missionary.
Well, no, but just the way she pronounced the Mexican place name.
Oh, Oaxaca.
Like it's like a stereotype.
Yeah.
Like it's like 1985 stereotype. You know, like back when, because like I'm old enough to remember when the typical white Mormon said quesadilla and jalapeno, and she is still there. Like to her credit, she's true to herself, I guess. You know, like, and that thing's like, you know, I don't actually hold it against people for not being able to pronounce Spanish. Like it's something you have to learn. It's not hard, but it is something you have to learn. But it is funny when somebody can't say Oaxaca.
At this point, you haven't had a cheese that wasn't queso Oaxaca for the past
Jalisco,
20 years.
like, because she did say Jalisco.
She did.
Yeah. Well, no, because like there's that guy. Who's that guy? There's that English internet guy.
Jalapeno.
There's that English internet guy who's like an Englishman based in the Czech Republic. And
you're gonna clip. This is gonna get clipped for Rebecca. RFM says.
But like, you know, he kept saying, you know, Puerto Vallarta. And he said Jalisco, and I'm like, all right, but you're an Englishman in the Czech Republic.
Oh, the English, the English people. I mean, they don't. I guess they don't live with Mexicans right on top of them, but English guys cannot say any Spanish word at all.
Well,
wait, speaking of which, can your son kind of speak that way? Did the English not be able to? You need to test your son to see if he can say.
I know that
Spanish
he knows
stuff, right?
like tortilla and quesadilla. Like I think because they have like
Man, I swear, like you listen to Lotus Eaters, they'll say tortilla, and
yeah, I think they definitely will. Well,
a
like
quesadilla.
I've said it many times, but like because normally, like especially as Americans, like we love the way British people talk. And I normally love the way British people talk, but the way that British soccer announcers say Portuguese names is the worst thing in the world. Like, and here's Kaká and Ronaldinho. Now Ronaldinho, give him a race. Like, oh, geez, guys, I wish you'd just stop.
Tell you, we're gonna have to bring the women's team. You do know that.
People watch hockey. How many? This is always the question when people get upset about like women's basketball and all stuff. Like, did you buy tickets this year? And Flip was always the person who's like, I had year-round tickets to the women's soccer team here at RSL. Did you pay your part?
I had season tickets. I've been watching women's soccer since 1995. I had season tickets to the first year of the Royals. Like for a long time, I extolled the positives of women's soccer. Like, because for a long time, it's the days are long gone, by the way. But there was a time that I did say the one thing that women's soccer is superior to men's soccer is they don't do the flopping around gamesmanship crap.
Really?
But that's no longer true. That's no longer the case. Now they are every bit as flop around gamesmanship.
See, you know what's
except
crazy?
now it's gameswomanship.
I think there's something in the human brain that just makes them do that with soccer specifically. Because I remember a couple kids doing that on my soccer team when I was like 10.
It really is partially game theory.
They didn't do it in basketball as much.
There's game reason behind all of it. You know?
Well, so something that has always been so mysterious to me is because, like, in soccer, you know, that they do the flopping around, they do the gamesmanship, and the other thing is like they always argue with the referee. Even though I've never once in my life ever seen a referee go, "Oh, you know what? I think you got a point. Let me take that back." You know, like that's never, ever, ever, ever happened. And they do the thing every time there's a call. They surround the referee, and like in fact, several years ago, it made me laugh because the Brazilian Soccer Federation announced, you know, new rule. And one of the rules, you know, for the next season, like, hey, new rules for the next season. And one of the new rules was, and it just made me laugh because of the wording of it, like it translated to that is prohibited to make a little wheel of reclamation, which is to surround the ref and yell at him. Like in Portuguese, it's, you know, rodinho de reclamação. Like I thought it was funny, like a little wheel of complaining. But they still do it anyway. But the thing that's always been mysterious to me is that rugby is the dead fucking opposite. Like in rugby is such like a, you know, it's a violent sport. Like they really thump each other, you know? And like, there's a clip I saw on the internet ages ago and it just cracked me up so much because like, you know, there's, you know, they're running around, they tackle, and then one guy, like, you know, huge rugby-sized player guy is just thumping this guy in the head. And the ref blows the whistle and he walks over and blows him up. He's like, and the referee, and like, and the other thing in rugby, the referees are mic'd up like they are in American football. And he goes, all right, number 15 red, what I saw you do there is you punched number 7 white in the head several times. And the rugby player's like, yeah, I did do that, right. So for that, that's a red card. He pulls out his card. You were banned from the game. And the guy just walks off. Not the slightest. And like, yeah, so there's definitely a cultural thing. You know, I think it's kind of like the fights in hockey. You know, it's like, if they wanted to put a stop to it, they would. In fact, I understand that they tried to, and the ratings went down so bad that they quietly just went, guys, go ahead and fight again. Just go ahead. We don't mind.
Well, they have a whole position for that, like a whole guy whose entire
the
Goon.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Goon?
Yeah, that was a good movie. It's a hockey movie.
I love that movie.
It goes along with the old. What's the old one? There's like an old one with who's the guy who Adam Carolla buys all his cars?
I don't know.
He sells the salad dressing.
George Foreman.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Paul Newman. Paul
Oh.
Newman has a really good old hockey movie about being the goon on a hockey team.
So Charles mentioned, he said, you're not fluent until you write ja 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 instead of ha ha ha. And it reminded me of something. Do you Flip? You probably know how Brazilians laugh on the internet.
Is it not ja 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 ja?
No, it's
no, because they don't say ha.
They do.
Like that.
They just do. K a bunch of times.
Isn't that's where Keck comes from Pep?
Is it really? I don't know, but it
Keck,
was
Keck comes
seriously,
from.
it's just they type out a bunch of K's.
You remember when they had like Kekistan and all that stuff?
Stepped away. I was getting a beer, but yeah.
Keck came from how Koreans laughed, which I guess is probably the same thing as how the.
No, but yeah,
like right when I got back from my mission,
Brazilian social media that like their version of LOL is KKK.
I know. So I got.
Oh, they don't do it like that.
Yeah, when I got back from my mission, like some of my Brazilian friends would write on my Facebook, and I would respond to them, and I'd put KKK, and so my American friends would be like, "Why do you keep writing KKK? That doesn't," because they would hit the translate button and it'd translate everything, and then it'd just say KKK. Like what is that? It's like, oh well, I'm racist, and there's a lot of racist Brazilians, and they're huge fans of the organization.
Yeah, it's funny how that stuff works though, because like in America, it's
joke's on you as soon as I
call an African American black, and it's not okay to say Negro.
Yeah,
and in Portuguese, it's the dead opposite. Negro is totally fine. Black is not.
Preto.
I saw the photos of the U.S. hockey players. I thought they're just men. I saw the cool photo, tooth chipped, bleeding, and I reminded myself quickly, just a man. I looked both ways as I crossed the street and said, just a man. Every time a man succeeds, every time a man does something that typically is worthy of praise, anytime I'm about to congratulate or celebrate a fellow man, I pause and I remind myself of what they are, just a man. Jokes.
You do the actual misandry.
Yeah, holy fuck, buddy. Like, no, his pussy gets wet anytime he sees that shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, does she have to be? Wait a second. That's not how somebody reacts when they don't like and don't respect somebody. Rachel's one of my favorite people in the entire world. I make those jokes and I act that way because I love her and because I have good rapport with her.
I don't remember what this guy's talking about. Listen to this. This is the stuff that really blows my mind though. Oh, I couldn't do it. It says I have to log in. Anyway, it was just some gal who said, okay, let's have the men versus the women right now. And see who wins. And she's dead serious.
Yes,
she's dead serious.
Bunch of fucking theater kids. They shouldn't be. I don't believe in free speech anymore. All right, just.
That's one of those things where, like, again, like, because I have been a long time fan of women's soccer. At least I was until a couple years ago when they made it clear they didn't want my support anymore. So I said, all right. But like, when people were like, well, actually the women are better than the men. I'm like, no, please, come on.
Like,
say
they keep winning championships.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, you can find, it's on YouTube. You can find multiple videos of national women's soccer teams, which is so the collection of the best women in the entire country playing against random under 14 teams. Like, so not the best collection of 13-year-old boys in the country, just any random teams under 14 team. And the women routinely get beaten 7-2, 5-1.
I had this discussion with a guy at work who just didn't get it. It was back when the U.S. women's soccer team was just dominating and they were kicking ass, and they were an awesome team, very, very talented athletes. And
four girls.
Yeah, well, he was like, yeah, man, they could beat the men's team. And I was like, well, no, they couldn't beat the men's team. Like, the men's team do way worse. Well, yeah, against other men.
It's also ridiculous because
they would lose against the Salt Lake Community College soccer team.
Whenever women come around and start announcing to me the types of things women are better at than men, I go, yeah. That's great. I have no problem that women are better at like colors and pattern recognitions and stuff like that. I have no problem with it. So, not just so great. Good on them. They impress me. They impress me a lot of the time. That's cool. Way to go, women.
There's a whole stereotype that women are better at remembering where you put shit or something. Right? Mm-hmm. And I see it like in life. I will go, and it's annoying because I'll try to look for, I don't know, the ketchup in the fridge or something, and I will look at every part of it and be like, okay, I'm not going to do the thing again. I'm not going to do the thing. And I won't find it. I'll close the door, open it again, do it again. And finally I'll be like, Morgan, are we out of ketchup? And she'll like open the door and be, it's right here, dumbass. So it's like a real thing. And like I'm annoyed with myself. I'm not annoyed with Morgan. And I don't know. Yeah, Ryan Wimmer, he says women are far better strippers and performing at escort services.
Yeah,
they actually really are.
Which is
Out of
trauma.
all of the male and female escorts,
That's life
I've
coaching.
hired,
That's trauma
I have
coaching.
enjoyed the female ones a lot more, honestly.
Like everywhere I've ever lived looks like I checked into a Motel 6, took all the art off the walls and threw it out and never left the building. But like, the lady who watched my cat lives above me. And so like, she has the exact same floor plan of her apartment as mine. And like, but her apartment is like a home. It's got like art and like everything's like arranged in a really intelligent way. And everything looks really good. And like my house is
it kind of drives me nuts, but my girlfriend could walk in a room and like see a cobweb in like a half millisecond up in some corner. I'm like, it drives me crazy that's up there and you did notice it, and it's true. But there's a part of me that wishes I noticed and stuff like that. Like I could go forever. Like I saw some light over at my parents' house the other night that I should have seen every day for forever. And I looked up at it and it was so disgustingly dirty. I was like, you should fix that. But that's always been that way for at least 10 years. And I've never once looked up at it, and I walk under it all the time. And I know that if I was thinking like her, she would have seen it on the first day. But this is Troy says that it comes from Korean KKK. And yeah, this is, if you remember when Pepe the Frog did all this Kek in Kekistan, and then Troy was saying that it probably comes from World of Warcraft and people using it online. And but I guess he said the Koreans don't really do it that way, so it just kind of comes from the whatevers. But theater kids, look at this Star Trek clip here. We got new Star Trek coming out.
You're on the Keck page. Oh, there it is.
Bakey. Yep, cadets. I'm Lieutenant Sylvia Tilley. I'm on rotation in the Beta Quadrant with the third years. However, per the Chancellor, this class has been mandated for you, so you get me early.
I don't know if this thing.
God, she looks like the most obnoxious substitute teacher you've ever had.
I hate this so much.
Cadet Raimi, Lieutenant. May I ask what course this is?
Theater.
I mean, like
Sorry,
they say it like
Lieutenant,
it's a joke,
what
but
is
it's not a joke. That like many years ago, Rich Evans of RLM, not RFM, but RLM. Rich Evans said about New Trek, and this has already been like 5-6 years. It's written by people who hate Star Trek. And this is somebody, like, if you deeply hated Star Trek, this is what you would write. This is what you would do to it out of anger and revenge because of how much you don't like Star Trek.
It's like that Julia book that I read, the 1984 rendition. Whoever wrote that had a deep hatred of Winston because Julia was fucking everyone, and Winston was her least favorite to fuck because he thought he was really good, but he couldn't even get his dick hard, and he had a tiny dick, and he was really bad and dumb, and he hated women. He's a piece of shit. It's
not just saying it; it literally is. It's kind of like Robert Conquest's laws of like, you imagine this bureaucracy is a thing, something that it hates, but they really do hate the thing they hate. But listen to this.
Theater have anything to do
8
with
out of 10 cadets ask that question. The other 2 become captains.
Captains my God.
Don't. What if I told you that theater is one of the most powerful tools for social and political change? Theater is statecraft.
She's
Statecraft is theater.
Statecraft is theater. It's kayfabe. Kayfabe.
You overachievers get all hot and bothered over. So chew on that till you get it, and it changes your life.
Please change my life, Lieutenant.
Oh, what the? Is that the director's daughter?
Homework.
What was that? Hold on.
That's a hologram.
Me and Morgan.
That's a hologram. She's literally a hologram, and she was born 2 months earlier. But they had her born a hologram that needed to learn.
Oh my God.
Wait, what?
That's a hologram. That's a hologram that was born a 17-year-old girl that needed to learn.
I don't even
There
know
was
if
one
you're joking
episode
right
of-
now.
I'm not joking.
Wait, is that why she acts like a terrible actor?
Yes, and that's why she does stuff like eats her name badge and stuff like that.
Okay.
I hate it so much. There
I'll
was an
select one that suits
episode
our
of,
purposes.
I like how they
Next
said like
Generation.
theater kids are what changes the world.
There's an episode of Next Generation where there's a little gag at the end where Captain Picard, in order to win the day, has to fool a Ferengi by acting like he's in love with Deanna Troy's mom. And it's a wonderful little moment because they establish in that show that Captain Picard doesn't like acting, which is a nice little inside joke because Patrick Stewart is one of the finest classically trained actors ever. And they just had one little moment, and it was a nice little gag and a way to wrap up the episode. And that was it. And that's all they did with that because they're not going to fuck around because it's Star Trek. But these guys, like, I've been watching the Nerdrotic reviews of these Starfleet Academy episodes, and it's the worst garbage. I hate it so much.
Oh, you're gonna get into the Daily Wire upsetting the award people, but I saw Shadiversity did a whole 3 hours on the Daily Wire. He was very, very upset at him. Have you guys seen this show, Heated Rivalry, about the two hockey rivalry guys who are having a gay relationship with each other?
What?
You haven't been watching this?
This
is on Netflix. It's called Heated Rivalry, and they're both hockey stars, but they're also having sexy lover time. But these guys did a gender reverse Heated Rivalry.
Your secret. I am a professional female hockey player. If anyone finds out I'm not a lesbian, that's going to ruin my career. One. Exactly. Well, I can't name any professional female athletes. Because they're all gay. They're out doing gay stuff. You wouldn't understand. I understand gay stuff. I was dancing Chaperone last night. That was the Macarena. That's a dance. Not to gays, babe. Not to gays. I love you. I don't want to be your secret.
Yeah.
Star Trek went downhill after 1969. That's not correct. RFM, I guess, is he's
he's
Star Trek Jewish. He's Star Trek
Jewish. Only believes in the Old Testament.
He only believes in the Old Testament.
The Next Generation is.
I have tried, like, when Voyager debuted, I tried watching it, couldn't get into it. And then, like, over the years, there's been a couple of times where I'm like, all right, I'm going to try to watch Voyager. Like 2 or 3 years ago, I'm like, all right, I'm going to try and watch Voyager. I couldn't get more than 3 episodes in. I don't know why. It doesn't, for some reason, it does not connect with me.
Listen to Razor Fist gives like a whole kind of book report on it, and that it's the greatest thing ever. So
like, Mike Stacklasa likes it all right.
Yeah.
Like, I know Mike Stacklasa, and like they recently did a review where they said that they thought that Star Trek peaked with Deep Space Nine. That's where everything came together, and apparently mostly Charlie thinks so too. And like, I really like Deep Space Nine. Things like, I never watched it. Like, I didn't watch it.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of Deep Space Nine. I'm thinking of Deep Space Nine. That's
the good one. Yeah, Voyager.
Mm-hmm.
Well, part of the problem is that Kate Mulgrew plays Captain Janeway, and she just sounds like your junior high vice principal on the intercom, and it's just hard to take.
Fun.
The first
just
5
how crazy people have gotten about this USA.
I would believe that RFM has read Tech War. You read Tech War, didn't you? You did, huh? You read Tech War and you thought it was good.
RFM, you're talking about you were complaining that nobody over there in your land of ex-Mormons knew who PG Woodhouse is. Woodhouse, I keep saying it like that. And Flip, here's the PG Woodhouse Meister.
My dad introduced me to PG Woodhouse when I was 7.
Yeah.
We need to look at the story of Dylan Strome.
Dylan plays for the Capitals. On Tuesday, his wife posted a photo of him and his daughter at a boutique. Looked like the daughter was in a princess dress. NHL reposts this on their page and says, the ultimate girl dad. Not using the daughter as a human shield. My God, today. Laughing at a misogynistic joke. More like the worst girl dad ever. Oh yeah, such a lover of women. Think he'll laugh at her accomplishments too? You aren't going to believe this. Dylan Strome is Canadian and wasn't at the Olympics. I feel sorry for the kid. Imagine having that as your wasn't at the Olympics. NHL ended up having to delete the post. I would have kept it up, but maybe the family asked to take it down. Taylor Strom, Dylan's wife, posted this on Instagram today. We were posting to a narrative that we have absolutely nothing to do with, and we certainly did not choose to have our family used in it. The comments and messages about my 2-year-old daughter are some of the most vile and disgusting things I've ever read in my life. This isn't about politics. She is a child, full stop. Do better. Now I know.
They got to do better back.
Do better.
Do better.
Do better.
Do better.
The New York Times. Eileen Ju, you know who she was?
Oh,
she was the Chinese American girl who went and skied for China.
Yeah, she was a baby,
A dirty damn traitor,
baby, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Like her dad commissioned a womb or some shit like that.
Eileen Ju was the highest earner of the 26 Olympics from the New York Times. The scientist, politician, skier, model, and student is like a magician. The audience dazzled by her mastery, but somewhat irked by how she does it, our columnist writes. The Atlantic. In a nation this polarized, the proximity carries weight, whether the players are being intentional or merely naive. It's nice to be feted as a winner of the U.S. men's Olympic hockey has been, but who's celebrating you and why they're doing it matters more. Athletes would be wise to recognize that in the climate, celebration is easily repurposed into political capital.
Imagine having like one of the biggest sports upsets in the last 40 years. Like you're the underdogs, and the last game the American team won, they made a movie about it with the word miracle in the title. And it was 40 fucking years ago. And you recreate the miracle. As it happened in almost half
an
a
overtime
century,
victory,
and the way that they have to, overtime victory by a dude with teeth knocked out after your goalie had blocked a record-breaking number of goals, and the world tells you got to be really somber. You got to like basically apologize for your cut. No, this is a country versus country thing. Do you want to know what? Okay, Canada. The Atlantic. Do you want to know who's celebrating? People who like sports. Not even just people who like sports. I don't ever watch hockey. This was cool. This is a cool story. Everybody loves the underdog winning, except
I don't
Canadians.
know, man. America, ick.
Yuck.
Icky.
It gave me the ick when they were happy about their gold medal.
Hey, Flip, I think RFM answered you. Is he saying that what you were asking if you read is the funniest stuff you ever read?
Oh, P.G. Woodhouse. Well, P.G. Woodhouse.
Woodhouse.
Douglas Adams called P.G. Woodhouse the funniest man to write in English ever. I think he's right.
Since you guys are talking about him, you talked about him forever. I'm halfway through Stiff Upper Lip with Booster and G's. So I don't know if that's any sort of good order. Just listening to it. And that's what I was just listening to it. No, RFM brought it up to Nemo. Nemo had never heard of it.
No, I mean on your book on tape.
Oh, I don't know. He's got a good British voice.
Because there's a couple. Yeah, there's a few different guys that have read it. They all do a good job. But
yeah, he does good. I mean, he does a good job of sounding like different guys when he talks.
Well, that because the Edwardian slang, like that's something that you have to really know.
But that's some of the stuff I was thinking about. I was sitting there thinking about like how much might be lost just from this is pre-World War I generation England, and then I was thinking about 100 years from now when all the Islamists take the knocked over libraries there in England and pick one up and start reading it. If they'll lose any of the comedy.
There on somewhere on the internet there's a PG Woodhouse glossary that can actually be really useful because like there's a lot of stuff like for example like they talked about like
it's pretty straightforward still. I just kind of like imagine like some of the dynamics of like the culture are a little weird to me. Like what?
Well, there's like one when I was a kid that confused me, which is that it came up a few times. You're like I saw so and so on the street and they ticked me off. Which, like, to us, ticked me off means they made me mad. But in Woodhouseian language, it means they brushed me off. Like you flick a tick off of your skin. That's what it said. Oh, he ticked me off. Or it's like, oh, he just dismissed me and moved on with his life. And so, like, that's the kind of thing where, like, sometimes you can run into a thing. And I know there's a couple of things that, like, when I saw the glossary, I'm like, oh, that actually makes sense. Because, like, there's just some terms you don't know what they're talking about. But still, I mean,
every
most
time
of
they
you don't
talk
need to know
about
sexual
biscuits,
function.
I'm thinking they're eating biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits.
Yeah.
All right.
The ugly underbelly of the U.S. hockey victory. All right, Flip. I'm gonna stick you into one more thing. We already talked about this stuff, but sex makes babies. That's fascism.
Who's that? Who's that about? It's
who's
Maven
that about?
RFM, by the way. That comic is about Maven.
The squatty potty dude was caught with child porn.
You know what really pisses me off about that?
Mm.
Like, I mean, obviously, child porn is bad. You know, we can. I want to take a brave stance there and let people know I think molesting kids is bad.
That is very
Could all the Democrats stand who think that molesting children is? Oh, they didn't stand. Okay. But what really bothered me, I didn't know that guy was gay, and I have a squatty potty, and I just realized that
you're
that
gay
means
now.
a gay dude made me squat and pull my ass cheeks apart. It was a psyop, and I feel so humiliated.
Did you immediately go burn it?
Yeah. My
All right.
brother-in-law actually worked for the company, the Harmon Brothers, who did that commercial for him. He didn't work for him at that time, but anyway, go on.
Flip. Do you? Yeah, because I know you're about to say that you're gonna go.
That's true.
Do you want to talk Gavin Newsom being just as smart as all of us, or do you want to talk about the Daily Wire throwing the Mormons under the bus?
Probably Mormon stuff because that's more Mormon-y. And I did listen to the Ward Radio talking about it, although I don't remember any of it. But so Daily Wire said Mormons are atheists. Is that right?
Yeah, I've got the clip of it. Here it is, right here.
Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias.
Oh, that's not it. Sorry.
Hey.
Here it is.
Ay, Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias.
Sorry.
It's almost there. We'll get to it.
Ay, Titi me preguntó si
Oh shit! Sorry.
I have to imagine that's what like two deaf people fucking sounds like.
Yeah, don't feel so good. Fuck you. Jesus Christ.
It is a little weird because like there's a lot of times when like you know they're like, hey, incredibly popular rapper is performing, and I'm like, I don't know who that is, and then and then you watch it and you're like, you know, like, well, okay, it's not for me, but I can at least see, you know, I can see the craft. I can see why people who are into rap are into this. I don't get the Bad Bunny appeal. I don't get it.
Yeah, I know. I
does not
never
impress
listened
me.
to him, but then when I hear that stuff, I'm like, fuck, he's just not very. I don't want to sound like your standard conservative, but fuck, he's just not good.
Yeah, he doesn't like. Yeah, like I mean, there are rappers that I like. I'm impressed by the skill. I'm impressed by the craft. I can appreciate that stuff. But like, yeah, Bad Bunny, I don't understand it.
I wouldn't even call him a rapper though.
Spanish. Well, whatever it is, I don't know. I'm already an old fuddy duddy where it's like, oh, it's all hip hop.
Yeah.
Are Mormons atheists?
Philosophically, yes, they are. Because imagine someone who says, I don't believe there's a God who created everything, but I do believe there's a spiritual realm of ghosts and demons and angels. And if you want to call some of those angels and demons.
What's that?
So do you mean Catholics?
Catholics
believe in all that shit.
Well, yeah, but
they didn't create the universe.
He's saying that God didn't create the universe. Catholics believe that, right?
Well, yeah, that's just a weird non sequitur.
I know.
Yeah, no, that's an extremely retarded statement to say that Mormons are atheists because they don't believe in a God that created the universe ex nihilo.
Well, you should say that Mormons are materialists. That's Jacob trying to make Mormonism and that's what all Skousen ever
We've all
did.
made that point before, and it's
Yeah.
pretty materialist, or it seems like they're talking about an alien, not about a whatever the Trinity God is. But
That is very similar, actually, to where a Mormon ends up.
Right. So
because they're going to say,
philosophically, they don't believe in a creator of all.
Did you say something?
No.
No.
Creation.
yes, exactly. They reject the idea of creation from nothing. They believe in creation from pre-existing matter. And if you ask where that pre-existing matter comes from, you get the same kind of shrug of the shoulders.
So God is not a creator.
Steel manning it, they're going to say he's a creator in the same way that any artist is a creator. When you build a statue, we can call Michelangelo a creator in a certain sense, but he doesn't create the marble. They believe in a carpenter.
So they don't believe in God.
Yeah, they don't. What we mean by God, they would reject.
Are Mormons atheists?
Mormons believe in magic, but they don't believe in it hard enough.
Yeah, I know. It's well, here's the thing. We've talked about this before because the whole materialism has to reject the idea of the uncaused cause. And it seems like a lot of what Skousen did and what Jacob does it too, trying to talk about basically Mormonism in a materialist frame. All it really does is kick the uncaused caused can down the road. That's a difficult thing to do. It's a tongue twister, but they're just kicking the can down the road. Because eventually, God didn't create everything. He came from another God who also didn't create everything. But at some point, shit had to be created, and they'll kind of just do an eternal regression, is what they usually call it, and it's just turtles all the way down.
I mean, that's always been my big complaint about the first cause arguments. They're like, well, everything that has a cause, or everything that it begins has to have a cause. I'm like, okay, well, why can't the universe just be that thing? Because you say, well, God is the thing that's uncaused. I'm like, okay, why can't the universe just be the thing that's uncaused? You're just adding a layer and saying, the universe needs a cause, so God. Okay, well, what caused God? I mean, it's new atheism 101, but it's kind of amazing to me that people can't get past it, which is why I always get to say it, the people who say that, just say it's faith. Just say you have faith that God created everything, and stop pretending that it's obvious and that people are stupid if they don't believe that.
Yeah, so I mean, there was a ton of different videos on this stuff because
Jacob must have been so happy when he said that. It's easy for him. That's an easy one for him.
Yeah, they gave him a layup.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you look at here, there's Shadiversity did 3 hours on it. I didn't watch the Shadiversity from Nerdrotic, and then these Latter Daily Wire guys did an hour on it here. Daily Wire, this is a 90-minute expose on why the Mormons are atheists.
Wait, why hasn't somebody done the Latter Daily Wire yet?
I guess we could. Risto says, I got it. Alien versus transcendent deity. Yeah.
Transcendent alien deity? What about that?
Nifty.
See, that's why UFO, the universe farting unicorn, is the best answer to all these questions. That's why I keep bringing it up. UFO is the unicorn, the magical unicorn that farted the universe into existence.
Sorry, it makes me think of the Squatty Potty now. And plus, I know about what they said in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Diary, that everybody thought that it was pretty much agreement that it was a bad idea. It was a bad move.
Yeah.
So what do you remember all the stuff to not have to go through it of that they got upset about? There was Adam God stuff. They got mad about the racist stuff.
It's
and then
just a theory.
Yeah, the Adam God stuff has been debunked for 100 years. So
it's just
people erroneously believe that it was ever taught as anything other than a theory.
A gay theory.
And they had that Jasmine girl say that even the Mormons got it wrong, that the Book of Mormon was saying that was skin. The Book of Mormon was never saying it was skin. It was Mormons that misinterpreted it, that the book was saying skin. And so that's on us. That's a little bit on us.
That's pretty dumb. I'm going to say that's pretty dumb.
That's stupid. That's fucking stupid. I remember hearing that the first time.
But so they got into flip. I mean, I don't think I can play the clip because it's from a movie, but you had the whole Pee Wee Herman's I know you are, but one of my.
Yeah, all Catholic versus Mormon debates are that.
Yeah.
Francis and Pee Wee Herman. I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I?
So Cardin brought up the thing that I think is the worst argument that they ever do, and he brings it up just again and again and again, and it's blaming all of the racism, on Southern Baptists or whatever, Southern Protestants.
Yeah,
no, taught that to the Mormons, and it's
possibly
their
the
fault.
most retarded Cardin take of all is Mormons were racist because, well, Southerners were racist and the Mormons couldn't think for themselves. So they just kind of went, oh, all right.
They were also raised to believe that polygamy was abhorrent, so I don't know why they got away from that one.
Yeah, like, no, it's like,
I guess because that one gets them pussy.
The Mormons picked out this one thing, and we're like, well, that makes sense. There's nothing else about it that we agree with, but that one, we're on board.
You ever seen like the Prometheus movies, like these?
No.
I saw. That's actually the only Alien movie I've ever seen. And
You've never seen the old good ones?
No, I've never seen them.
Oh my goodness!
You gotta understand. I explain this to people all the time. I wasn't even allowed to watch PG-13 movies when this shit came out, so I have not caught up very well on the R-rated movies that I missed out on growing up.
What are these creator aliens called in Prometheus? They're called
I can't remember.
The engineers. So if you have
retarded,
I didn't like this.
Did a pun.
I didn't like this concept in the Alien movies because I liked thinking. If you watch the first couple Alien movies, Jared, watch 1 and 2. You got to see those. Those are still spectacular. I watched them just recently, and they're great. But the whole thing is just basically a wasp-like alien gets into their places, and the first one's just one of them, and it takes out like a whole crew. And then the second one's like a hive of them, and it takes out like everybody. And I liked imagining a world that would have evolved that sort of freaky creature. But then they come back and 20, 30 years later make this movie called Prometheus. And Prometheus has this creator being on it he himself is also an alien, but he comes into a planet and just seeds down the thing. And when he seeds down the thing, it creates whatever creature there is.
Okay.
But the reason I'm just bringing that up is because the Mormon God could be this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really kind of how it is. Like it's
and then you got to ask where you came from, and
yeah, it's an alien or it's a thing that's out there that
wacky aliens all the way down.
Yeah. But I don't know what else do they get upset. So they're really upset that this is on the Daily Wire, and the Daily Wire has such a big channel, and they brought on that.
They feel betrayed because they're all subscribers.
They're all subscribers, and they're all talking about unsubscribing because they did like 2 hours. I listened to the whole entire thing, and it is true that there was some bad arguments about it. It was kind of like bad on both sides, you know, a little bit, but their arguments were kind of goofy.
I think that there are fine people on both sides. I think that Daily Wire and Ward Radio, there are fine people on both sides. I just think that.
I've tried watching the Daily Wire show, the Pendragon Cycle, and
I haven't. Good?
I haven't gotten far enough in to really tell. The production values like way better than you would think, and I think the acting is good. I really can't. It's been a couple weeks. I watched one episode, and so I'm not far enough in to know if like the story is good or whatever. But it does seem like a stupid move, like the worst Hail Mary ever. Because
just like a ton of money to get people.
Like I don't. Even if it is like Game of Thrones level good. I don't know why they think anybody would get a Daily Wire subscription just to watch that. Because I didn't. I pirated it.
You actually went through the trouble of watching Lady Ballers, didn't you?
I did. Morgan wanted to watch it. She's like, "Oh, it'll be funny," and I'm like, "It's not going to be funny."
Like it's not even a good bad movie, right? It's like
no, it's not.
It's too competent to be a good bad movie, and no one.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't even call it competent. It's some of it's so like the pacing is weird. There's certain payoffs that don't make any sense. There's jokes that just
there's not any boobs. Which, by the way, I watched that Knights of the Seven Kingdom, and that's really good. It's only 6 episodes.
I've heard it's good.
It's really good, and it's a tight little story.
What's the Knights
everybody?
of the Seven Kingdoms?
It's another Game of Thrones, but it's a shoot off story from Game of Thrones, so you can just get it done in 6 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Lady Ballers, like, I don't know. Everybody was exactly correct about it because I'm not original for having this take, but the second I saw it, I was like, this should just be a skit, you know, at best.
Yeah,
and that's what. Everyone said
they would get old in 5 minutes.
I know, and they were right. It should have been not even a skit, maybe like a TikTok or something. Like this is, it was bad, and they kept having to shoehorn in like Avengers style cameos of every cast member of the Daily Wire and Ted Cruz. Like
Ted Cruz is in it.
Ted Cruz has a cameo, and I don't know what they expect you to do. Like he like sits down next to Jeremy Boring's wife, watching the things. Like, is anybody sitting here? And she's like, she looks at him. She's pissed off at Jeremy Boring, and he's like, "Ooh, I'm not gonna mess with that," and walks away. And I don't know what they expect. Like, we're gonna be like, "Oh my god, it's Ted Cruz! Oh my god!"
What a great cameo.
Yeah. And it ends with one of the trannies getting counseling from Jordan Peterson. It's every Daily Wire member has a cameo in it. Like have Matt Walsh being just the dumbest version of a hippie. It's Norm Macdonald's joke that like you can't properly make fun of something that you don't have some amount of love for. And Matt Walsh acting like a weird, like new age progressive hippie. Like he hates that, and so he's not good at parodying them.
Actually being a hippie, but it still fooled those guys, which is kind of surprising that they all just kind of bought it. But
well,
I think that also just worked with money. Like you didn't have to be that good of an actor; you just give them money, they'll go with anything.
Well, he basically was that character. The "Am I Racist" thing.
Mhm.
He was that character in Lady Ballers.
Oh. Anyway, back to this whole Daily Wire thing. I mean, I guess it's kind of a betrayal.
RFM liked my Cruz impression. All you gotta do is sound like a gay nerd and nasal yourself up a little bit. I don't know.
Oh, that gay nerd died. Billy Carradine, Adam Carradine, Stephen Carradine, the guy from
the
Revenge
dad
of the
and
Nerds.
Billy McGuire.
Oh yeah, he killed himself, didn't he?
He killed himself from being a nerd or
He
a Carradine.
Yeah.
Is he a brother? Is he a brother of those
He's the son
of
he's
the
son
Kung
of
Fu
Papa
Carradine?
Carradine? Yeah, they're
He's
all
a Kung Fu Carradine. I guess anybody named Carradine, you should just imagine they're one of those Carradines.
yeah. Is there a single?
Well, the
Carradine
other
on Earth
Carradine
that's
killed
not-
himself too, right?
Yeah.
while
Well-
doing the jerky, he did
can't-
he did the autoerotic asphyxiation.
We should not yuck his yum.
Yeah, we don't want to kink shame.
But he
You wanna
could have
keep hanging
used
yourself
a
in a
life
hotel
coach
in Thailand.
Like if he had a life coach to make that more of a safe space when that happened, he could have worked on that trauma and been
Probably could have
saved
just
from
asked
hanging himself in the closet.
The housekeeper in the Thai hotel where he did it, like he probably could have just asked her, like, "Hey, can you help me out here? If I pass out, just loosen this belt, slap me a couple of times."
Do you think like he realized at some point as he's like fading that like he's not going to be able to come out of this, and there's maybe just a split second where he's like, "Ah, fuck, they're gonna joke so hard about me."
I wonder, or was he just thinking, like,
I think everybody who died
this
about
orgasm was worth dying for.
Do you want to know what one of the best movies ever was? And it's one of his last movies.
World's Greatest Dad.
Yeah, Robin
fucking love
Williams.
that movie.
Robin Williams has a son who kills. He's a shitty son, and he kills himself. Isn't
accident.
Robin Williams also suspected of doing the same? I don't think Robin did that. I thought Robin was just suicide because he had that.
Yeah, he hung
some sort of
himself.
like ASL or something like that.
Yeah, his
Lewy
kids are,
body dementia.
his kid is a piece of shit dickhead
In the movie.
Yeah, and he dies of autoerotic asphyxia, and then Robin Williams, like he sees him like that, and obviously he cries. It's his son. He died, and he's like, I can't let my boy go out like this. So he stages it differently, and he leaves this like beautifully written suicide note because he's an English teacher and he's been trying to get published for his whole life. And this suicide note, everybody at school just, I didn't know. I thought he was just an asshole. He's so deep, and it gets published. And then throughout the movie, Robin Williams keeps like writing more shit, saying like, I found more of his journals. And, like, it goes like nationwide phenomenon. Like this is the most beautiful writing we've ever heard.
Yeah, that's a great movie. It's one of his last too. I think it was Bobcat Goldthwait who directed it as well.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah.
They were best buddies.
Yeah. On the Daily Wire stuff, is there anything else you wanted to I mean, we could actually just do like a whole 3 hours on this if we just went like one by one on all the things. But so just right now we're going off of like what we remembered. But I mean, they do feel like it's a huge stab in the back because there are so many Daily Wire people. And Candace Owens went off on Mormons again today, that Mormons must be one of the big things, because it turns out Erica Kirk's mom married a Mormon before she got married to her dad. And she goes, what's up with all these missionaries? These Mormons are missionaries. Is that some sort of MK Ultra? Is that some sort of MK Ultra? And the Mormons are just such a huge part of this. And it all leads back to this. And you want to know what? Me having Candace on the case makes me really, because I'm going to show you like a little bit of her ability to connect dots and stuff. Like, this is the person we want investigating. This is the person we want investigating.
Okay, I have to tell you guys something before we get into comments, because I need to know that I'm not the only person who didn't know this. I didn't know this, but also Savannah didn't know this, so at least two of us didn't know this. I was on a walk with my husband, and it was thundering, I think, and I was like, oh, no big deal, we can keep walking because there's no lightning. And he was like, what do you mean by that? And I said, like, it's just thunder. Lightning is the problem. And then my husband was like, you know that it can't thunder without lightning, right? That lightning, the thunder is the sound of lightning. My mind was completely blown. I promise you, in my 35 years of living, I had never heard that. And I just need to know if this is just a girl thing, because me and Savannah didn't know this, or is this literally just me and Savannah are the only people in the entire world that didn't know this? Or are you shaken to your core as I was yesterday and as Savannah was this morning, learning that thunder is the sound of lightning? I don't know, guys. I have to just kind of share with you random tidbits.
Filing for divorce today, I wonder.
Why does she pronounce the word didn't like a 6-year-old? You didn't know that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, but yeah, she had a whole bunch of stuff on the Mormons are behind the Charlie Kirk murder today, or they gotta be, because I mean, she never says anything that directly. She just says, look at who's Mormon here and who's Mormon here and what's up with the missions. Isn't that weird? Weird. This is weird. And so Mormons are all over Daily Wire, next Daily Wire people going after them. But I don't know, that whole episode was kind of interesting, that the Daily Wire has on a religious show now that spends time taking down the Mormons, even though it does it kind of badly. And then I think one of the things that's interesting that I was saying to you guys is the Daily Wire has a guy talking about Jacob Hansen as if Jacob Hansen, is the Mormon expert. So now on the Daily Wire, it's kind of being codified that Jacob Hansen,
he just got canonized. He got canonized by the
canonized and codified. So I mean, because that's kind of getting to, if you'd say it's like CNN levels, but would you call Daily Wire at some point or another, and probably still is almost CNN levels, or beyond CNN levels nowadays, but old CNN levels of mainstreamness. And as I was saying, like, I thought if CNN ever covered something, then said Jacob Hansen is the expert to turn to on this apologia or something like that, that Jacob would start getting to areas like he might be getting in hot water just by becoming the name of something.
Oh yeah.
When he never officially announced himself as the name of something, or wasn't made just being announced in some place that seems like high level news places as being the expert on the theology of religion. I feel like it could get you in hot water.
I mean, because would he, if the church came to him and said, Brother Hansen, cool it, back the fuck off, would he do it? I wonder. Or if he would have a moment of like, hey, church, you can't tell me what to do just because you have living prophets and stuff. I don't know. I gotta go.
Gonna need a collective witness to tell him that. We need a vote.
I need to hear from all 15 of you. They all show up.
Well,
Brother Hansen, back up. I need to hear from all of you and all of the 70s.
Brother Hansen, back up. Well, the collective witness of all of the general authorities, the majority of general authorities who have ever existed in Mormonism have not told Jacob Hansen to back off. So you guys can frig off.
The only two things you might slip a comment in on is any comments on Gavin Newsome appealing to the black vote, or Tourette's, the Tourette situation.
Oh, those are both excellent. I mean, the Gavin, like, it's impossible to overstate just what a piece of shit Gavin Newsome is. It really is he's like a cartoon character of a terrible politician. He really is. And then what was the other thing? Tourette's. Oh, that's just funny. Like South Park could have written that. Like,
I
they're
know.
probably sad they didn't think of that one. I mean, although their episode on Tourette's was really
United States. What was that? South Park.
I mean, they did an episode on Tourette's, which was really, really excellent.
Oh yeah.
That's why I made the joke. If I could shout the N-word at the BAFTAs, I would be so happy.
I liked Jared. Was it you that shared this one, Jared? These people saying racists have been feeling comfortable normalizing this shit nowadays, huh? He couldn't help what he was yelling. He has Tourette's. Stops at the punch. If I had Tourette's, my chicks would be shouting things like trans right or Black Lives Matter because I'm actually a good fucking person.
Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that progressive lefties think about the N-word way more than I do. I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah, it doesn't cross my mind to say it very much, but
They don't think to say like
if I ever would say the only time I ever thought of using it was when I was a kid and I didn't even really know what it meant, and we used it to say doorbell ditch. We said the N-word knock stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, I only ever I won't say it on here because it's YouTube, but I'm like
Brazil nuts too.
Yeah. The toes. No, it's I'll say it if I'm like just saying matter of factly. Oh, that guy called them. I won't say it on YouTube, but because I don't do the whole. It feels. I grew up in Rexburg, man, and I can't tell you how much of that. Like he said the H word. Like
Rexburg is only like 100 miles from Ruby Ridge.
Yeah, it's it's only like 20 miles from me, but
so that thing that Gavin Newsome said, I mean, I don't know if I have the exact clip of him saying it. I think I did. Here it is.
Hey, I'm dyslexic. I'm like, I can't read. I'm just like you. Talking I'm
no better than you.
Yeah, and he talks all.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you.
Look at the leg cross, man. Look at the leg cross.
The deep leg cross.
Deep leg. They both deep leg crossing.
You. I'm no better than you. I'm a 960 SAT guy.
He sounds like he's speaking to someone who doesn't speak English. It's like, okay, I'm not super good on my English, so speak slowly. I'm not better than you.
Me not English good.
Well, there's this thing that Batya Unger, whatever, talked about it here. This study that said, let's see.
Oh yeah.
I was jubilant. I used to be pretty woke. I had the TDS, the Trump derangement syndrome. I thought everybody who voted for Donald Trump was a racist. All that changed when I encountered a Yale study in 2018. The study found that there was a difference between how white liberals and white conservatives talk when they talk to black people. And when I saw the headline, I was jubilant. We got them. That's what I thought. Turns out the opposite was true. The study found that when white liberals talk to black people, they do something called presenting lower competence. They dumb down their vocabulary using fewer syllables than they do when they talk to white people. And white conservatives don't do this. I remember seeing the study and thinking with horror. And we liberals call conservatives racist? What could be more racist than the patronizing view that
patronizing view? What could be more racist?
I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940.
I don't feel no ways tired. I don't feel. Here's Ryan Long.
Condition that I've had my whole life. I'll be talking to a white guy in just my normal voice. Windy one out there, pal. And a black guy shows up, and windy is shit out here. Yes, some people call it code switching, a term I do not like, sir. Even if I do happen to switch from talking about computer code to a white guy, JavaScript or Python, to talking about street code to a black guy. I'm not one to snitch personally, but they not like us.
Not like us.
Tricked. Me too. Yeah. I just think he has better flow. You know what I mean? Sure. Did you hear Dave's coming to town? Chappelle. Did you hear Dave's coming to town? Matthews? I've obviously tried. It's not something that's possible for me. Do you want a handshake? Is that cool? Oh, yeah. Started in high school. G Unit was a popular group at the time. I remember some of my black classmates walking by. I started talking black to them, and I loved the way that made me feel. Kicks are fire.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they loved it too. Where the bitches at, though, you know what I'm saying?
Storm's coming. They're going in.
Yeah, but they see me coming, you know what I mean? They'll be coming back out.
One man.
We're going to play basketball if we wanted to potentially.
I'm
cool, man.
Just like a half hour if you wanted to come through.
Nah, I'm good.
We could even do like a quick 20-minute deal. No, you're kind of. Did you see the new episode of Real Time this week? I'm still catching up on Club Random, so I haven't got to it yet, but it's a condition.
All right, I gotta go, but there's one other thing I wanted to comment on about the Ward Radio talking to the sexual ritual abuse guy.
Oh yeah,
which I thought was funny, which was that because Carden kept saying like, well, okay, but what's the evidence? Well, what's the evidence? And the guy was basically, he just kept saying, well, I have a spiritual witness. And I just thought it was funny because like Carden couldn't do anything with that.
Oh, because he used your faith thing, and then
yeah, because I especially thought it was funny when the guy was like getting kind of frustrated with Carden, and he even said like, look, man, I don't believe in the Book of Mormon because of proof. I believe because of the Spirit. And I just thought I thought it was kind of funny where it's like, okay, so like, what are you gonna do with that, Carden? Because like obviously you don't accept what he's saying about the claims he's making, particularly that the members of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles are doing Church of Satan shit, but like I just thought it was funny where it's like, because you could just see the blue screen of death happen to Carden on Real Time where he's like, but I believe in spiritual witnesses. I claim spiritual witnesses. What am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
Alrighty. But I'm gonna bail. I was gonna bail.
I think it made you talk all the subjects, and we hit all the subjects faster. I guess we could always hit them faster like that.
I got to figure out what's up with my camera. I don't understand why I can't get it to work. Like it works on I can go into the settings and find it. It says it's connected. Just for some reason it's blocked.
I found another thing to trap you with.
Oh, geez.
Oh, this.
What I was surprised about with this is I was just wondering last week, like I hadn't ever heard her speak in Spanish, and I didn't know she could speak Spanish. And now I know that she doesn't speak Spanish.
Mi español no es el mejor.
No te preocupes, alcalde. Si su hijo o hija está cumpliendo 3 o 4 años en el 2026, usted puede registrarlos gratis en el programa Kinder 3.
Oh, she's also saying if illegal aliens can.
Oh yeah,
not aliens. Illegal residents. Illegal. What's the proper?
Undocumented citizens.
Undocumented citizens. Kids get free
contradictory
healthcare.
terms, but no one dwell on that.
We need to keep you guys here as our slave labor so your kids can get free healthcare, but please come clean our toilets.
O prekinder de la ciudad de Nueva York. Pero debe registrarse.
So I can tell. So she's got like the. I always saw this with you go on a mission and all sorts of guys were pochos where they had like a Mexican mother, like Flip's a pocho, except that would have been Mexican, right? But they always had by far like the best accent on single words, but then the cadence wasn't there like at first. Like they just had a natural good accent on the single, and she has that. She has like a pocho accent, like each word's accent's pretty good, but you can tell the flow. She's not speaking that. She learned the words to say them there 100%.
El 27 de febrero, que es la fecha límite. Cualquier padre de la familia de la ciudad de Nueva York, sin importar su ocupación, ingreso o estatus migratorio, es elegible para.
She does kind of sound like she's trying to speak to somebody who's kind of okay with Spanish.
Yeah,
that's like if I had to go speak with Brazilians, I would ask them to speak like that because I haven't had to really listen to Brazilians speak in a long time.
Well, all sorts of missionaries, once they get like fluid enough, that their accent's terrible, but then they just are still just like really fluid. Like people can get some of the best speakers on a mission. Mexicans would even appreciate it. Were guys who just said, "To hell with like the perfect little accent. I'm just going to kind of be a gringo, but I'm going to flow." And they would understand it and almost kind of be happier with that sometimes. You know what I mean? Like if somebody just really just flowed well, but didn't just back off and. Yo quiero decir, hermana, que yo estoy aquí para usted para enseñarle el libro de Mormón, and they'd be like, he speaks really
all
good.
Right, you know,
he speaks great. He speaks very good, and it's because they weren't like stopping themselves and pausing themselves up to say every word perfectly. Of course, it was always a little bit better if somebody had both rolling, but if somebody was slowly kind of chortling through words, but not the cadence and the flow of it was bad, but they were rolling the R's better. They would understand the guy with the bad accent better.
Sneeze.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay.
Trump saving the Great Salt Lake. You got to just bail whenever.
Look at that.
You need to jump out of airplanes.
John Larson did it. He got Donald Trump to save the lake. Alrighty, I'm out.
What if Donald Trump doubled the Great Salt Lake? Would John Larson have to thank him for it?
John Larson would thank himself for it.
Who's that, Jared?
What the shit?
On the left, who is that? That is a celebrity, and you know who it is.
Who? Hang on. Like an actress?
I guess.
Been in movies, or like a singer, or
TV.
I have no idea who this is. I can't even. Holy fuck!
That is Kelly Ozempic Osbourne.
Holy fuck! Jesus.
How do you think that Ozempic is coming along for?
Oh my god, that's terrifying. And did you ever watch the Celebrity Death Match? The Osborne twins versus the Osborne kids versus the Osmond twins.
No, I don't think I saw that one.
I
watched sporadically deathmatch. I watched a bunch of them, but I probably only caught like a quarter of them.
It was the Osborne kids versus the Olsen twins, and that was all I remember is that she took some of her shitty CDs of her shitty music and threw them at Mary Kate Olsen. He's stuck in like ninja stars. Oh, that's horrifying. We're bringing back heroin chic, but it's medicated now. Fucking hell.
Yeah, that's freaky that stuff's getting like that.
It's crazy. I think I mentioned it. My wife's aunt, her whole extended family is really big into like sort of the voodoo granola crunchy stuff, right? Like, and this aunt in particular is really like anti-vax. Like when we had our first kid, she was warning Morgan. This was way before COVID. Like, you better not vaccinate him because this and this and this or whatever. They're big into that stuff. And then now she's hawking Ozempic, and she says it's not Ozempic. It's a natural alternative to Ozempic, and it's got the bad stuff is not in it. It's crazy that it hit the market the exact same time Ozempic did. But,
Blue Meanie says she looks like her mom Sharon. I think it's true. She does look like Sharon now that she's all
like a terrifying skeleton.
A terrifying skeleton.
Holy God Almighty!
Yeah. Did you watch any of the State of the Union?
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched the highlights.
What did you think of that?
I thought Democrats are so stupid. They're so stupid. Like, how did they not know? It was such an obvious trap that he set for them. When he's like having people stand for like just universally.
Yeah, it was three different things. It was transgender surgeries on children.
Irina Zarutska's mom.
That the government should be for the people of the United States and not for
illegal
undocumented whatever. And the last one was for Irina Zarutska's mother.
That one just blew my mind. He's like, oh,
they wouldn't stand for, like, oh my goodness, like,
what the shit. One of the funny ones was when he was talking about the insider trading thing, and he's like, oh, a couple of them, I didn't think they'd stand for that one. Where's Nancy Pelosi? She's not standing, right?
Yeah. Oh, that was the best. That line, like some of the stuff where he talked about like Somali pirates and all that sort of stuff. I'm like, okay, come on, it's State of the Union, dude. Like a little bit of stuff like that. You could have said like just bringing in immigrants who are committing fraud or something like that. But when he said no more insider trading, and he says, "Is Nancy Pelosi standing up? Is Nancy Pelosi?" that cracked me up. Which reminds me of Kyle Dunnigan. We haven't used Does Kyle Dunnigan even kind of put out those things anymore?
He does. I think he did one recently. I didn't watch it, but I'm pretty sure he did one.
Pelosi. Mental asylum.
With me, Nancy Pelosi, just in time for the lightning round. There should probably be a law against Congress people trading stocks, but we just haven't gotten around to it. Okay, let's get batshit. Hank from Toledo, you're on.
Booyah, Nancy.
Booyah.
I read your husband bought Google just before the antitrust bill vote. You guys made $5 million?
Mm-hmm.
So was that like luck? Or...
Yes, it was a miracle. Thank you, George Floyd. Okay, Mark from Illinois.
Booyah, Nancy.
Booyah.
Hey, can I hold on to my Tesla position before the EV bill passes?
Sell. A little birdie told me I'll be voting the other way. You newbies at home, don't be discouraged. I lost a lot of money in the market, but things really turned around when I started making lures. I'm gonna jingle all my jewelry in your face. You'll like it. I shoot my
Kyle. X-Files is coming back.
Oh, did you see? I think you sent it. The Chrissy Mayer.
Yeah, I think I got it.
That was so good.
Oh, hold on. I thought I had it. Here we go.
Truth in the shadows, we gon' bring. City never sleeps, secrets in the night. Truth in the shadows, we gon' bring to light. Following clues, every step leaves trails. Digging for the proof, read between details. They X-Files, where the myth gets real. We hold receipts they don't want to reveal. Blue light flicker, chalk lines on the curb, decoding every...
Hey, detectives, this is Detective Ellis.
Hi, it's Chrissy Mayer. You gave me your card after that break-in last fall?
Of course. What's going on, Miss Mayer?
It's probably nothing, but there's this sound, like a metal saw or something, coming from my neighbor's apartment. It's been going on all night, and it's getting louder. I told you, it keeps me up every night.
We'll check it out. Stay here.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
On 3. 1, 2, 3. Clear so far.
Hear that? Right there, down the hall. Someone's in here.
I don't hear anything, ma'am.
It's quiet as a library.
You sure it wasn't the building settling?
No, it was a step. I know what I heard.
Lock it.
Got it. She jumps at every shadow.
I know. When we walked in.
It's more than nerves. It's like something's tugging at her.
You think in possession?
Or whatever passes for it.
At least every lead ran the tapes twice. There's nothing there but her story.
And the story keeps changing. No evidence, no witnesses. Just voices she swears she heard.
You agree we shut it down?
I'm ready.
All right, case closed.
What about her?
We file the eval. Let a doctor sort out whether she's hearing something or making it up.
It wasn't me losing my mind. It wasn't voices or anything like that. It was the smoke detector battery. That chirp. It was just that stupid chirp. I kept telling them.
I know you're frightened. You've been through a lot. But we're going to help you feel safe.
I'm not crazy. Please, you have to believe me. The whole time, all those nights, I thought someone was in the house. It was just the battery beeping.
Man, they just don't even slow down. Like I saw like this whole review of like they released The Burbs. I don't know if you've seen that's real. Like there's an episode out now of it, and the Burbs. I mean, they just don't even slow the roll on any of it ever. So many Native Americans were killed during colonization. It cooled the planet.
Jesus Christ! I saw that and I was like, oh man, look at that. My least favorite thing caused my second least favorite thing, and I had no clue they were linked.
Yeah. Goyim lives matter.
That's hateful, Goy. I want to hear Rabbi Shmuley tell me why I'm an anti-Semite for platforming a meme as such.
This is something I was going to show to Flip. In the midst of all the men versus women stuff, there's this woman going around playing kid chess masters, and oh man, could be autistic hero of the week, but.
He's got a fucking booster seat.
What's that?
That's for me to better sit.
I'm small.
How old are you?
11. And I'm a master.
I'm small too. And I'm a grandmaster.
Yeah, but you're a woman, guys. It's only 2,300.
I saw that. It's still higher than you.
Who cares? No, but I'm much younger.
Is this a skit or is this real?
It's real. She goes around and plays a bunch of the young grandmasters, and they're all kind of autistic kids who end up mouthing off to her. So I think she's getting skits out of it on purpose to see how these kids do.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Great job.
Don't be sure. One day you'll be happy that you even played me.
Say again?
I hope one day you'll be happy that you even played me.
So is she
Well,
losing on purpose?
No, I don't think so. There's a couple different skits of her going around and playing some.
She seems like purposefully funny though. Like
Yeah.
she's
she's leaning into letting it be a comical moment. Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, she's awesome. That's funny.
Yeah.
That pompous fucking kid. It's like my kid. He is unable to ever think that he's wrong. And part of that is that he's usually not wrong about things.
Yeah. You're gonna get it bad. Like someday you're gonna not be able to play music around him.
Oh, I know.
Like
I know.
He'll probably get over it like a little bit by the time he's 20 or something. But there's gonna be like a time frame where he's like, "That's wrong. That's incorrect. That's not exactly right."
I can do the thing now where I'll play 2 notes on the piano at a time. It'll be like, "What notes are those?" It'll be like, "Oh, that's a B and an F sharp," and it's wild.
Yeah, pretty soon he's gonna be like, "Don't sing. You're slightly off key."
I know.
Martha. Did you hear what happened?
What happened, child?
Mm-hmm. Say we got somebody else that's gonna be on our side.
I do declare.
He got a strong name, powerful name. His name Gavin Newsome. He was talking to a bunch of Negroes the other day, and he said he's just like us. He can't read nor write either. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. And if he gets in there, we might have somebody that can do more things for it.
If he what you say, now is it that good for you?
You talk like that. Overseer Obama might hear you. And you know he's don't want us to have the things that the rest of the overseers have. If you go around there and tell Big Massa what he heard you say, then, if they don't like what you say, they got a way of making sure don't nobody hear you no more. I know. You got to be careful. Now, Martha, you get on away from around here with that kind of foolish talk. Now, go on now, kid. I love you here, but you just can't say stuff like that. Not around here. Come on down the back later after the sun and set all the way, and we can talk more about it.
All right. Love you, then.
I love you here. All right, child. Yes, indeed.
All right, child.
Oh,
It reminds me when like Kathy Hochul had that view, that thing where she said like no black kids have heard about computers or sort of thing like that.
I know.
And
like,
then all those guys
black kids in the Bronx. Yeah, that one dude like got a laptop and he's like dancing around like a chimp, like and that was fucking.
RFM says he feels like he's doubled our normal viewers.
I'll tell you, we usually
The fire rises. The fire rises.
Yeah, we're moving up. We're like D-Days RFM.
We got a full poker table.
Yeah,
we're gonna catch on Divas. Well, Divas is the #1 podcaster in Mormonism.
Yeah, we're aiming to dethrone you. We're going all the way to the fucking top.
The fire rises. Oh man, I don't probably want to play this. Any other stuff you want to talk about?
I don't know. There's a lot of stupid stuff that's happened.
Oh, the world is very, very stupid. I remember we used to say things like, Risa says we've been on for 398 weeks.
I think he's saying subscribers. Yeah, he's.
Oh yeah. We're getting one each time. Yeah. Every single week we get another subscriber. Every once in a while it goes the other direction though. Flip says we're not for profit, so we have an advantage. Is Divas being sued? Yeah, Divas is included. His name is included as one of the ones that you can't say. The Mormon News Roundup. Oh, I guess I got a Divas. Divas made a clip on John Oliver talking about Mormon tithing. Mormon tithing.
Yeah.
We could go to that. I guess in the meantime, we can watch this channel pumping E. Jean Carroll's current lifestyle.
I like to sleep late and I like to live like 90 in between. I get up around noon and I stagger outside out the store and I throw open my arms. I thank God I don't have children. Then I go back in, stagger into my office and start reading a stack of ASCII Gene letters. I never thought much went on in the morning anyway. Women have facials in the morning. They have their hair done. And not me. I like getting up at noon.
Dude. I'm so
like
sad
stay up
Jessica
late.
Walters died because she could have played this lady so well.
Yeah, she's like the
This
she's
is-
like the grandma in Weapons, the movie. If you haven't
This
seen
is
it,
fucking nuts, man. Man, it really messed with her head when Trump definitely finger blasted her in that dressing room.
Sure, definitely did that. I don't know. Do we dare play this? We got to talk over it, or do Divas can try to a copyright strike us.
That would
for-
be the
for
funniest
us
thing
playing
ever.
his video of John Oliver.
That would be the funniest thing ever. Is if Dives fucking. Here's the deal, Dives. Copyright strike this, and I will report you. I've never reported a video for anything. I will report yours. That's how much of a cunt you are.
Pump those likes. Vet TV had a video making fun of Exmo, so maybe this niche is about to take off. What's Vet TV?
Do not know.
A cornerstone of American life. There are roughly 350,000 congregations in the United States, and many of them do great work, feeding the hungry, clothing the poor. But this is not a story.
Did Divas just rip the whole video of John Oliver? Like he doesn't have any commentary on it? Like how does Divas get away with this stuff? Like he goes and like RFM. You know that he ripped your entire TikTok channel, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody ever saw. Like he took your entire TikTok channel and made one single long 6-hour episode of all of your TikToks.
He did the anthology of all of the big.
And he's done that of all the different TikTok people. But he like how does he just put up this without commentary on it? Like I've never seen anybody like there's nothing that changes this for free use.
About them. This is about the churches who exploit people's faith for monetary gain. Let me show you that in action.
The size of your seed.
Was it because he put that edit in there?
Will determine the size of your harvest. I don't understand why, but there's something happens at a level where people step into faith and give $1,000 that don't happen at other levels.
You're going to have a breakthrough.
So you just have those them talking about the big people, and then they get to the Mormons on the John Oliver. The Mormons.
To have more money, we eagerly follow the Lord's law of finances, which is, of course, tithing. Consider President George Q. Cannon's approach to tithing when he was an impoverished young man. When his bishop commented on the large amount of tithing poor young George was paying, George said something like, "Oh, Bishop, I'm not paying tithing on what I make. I'm paying tithing on what I want to make." And the very next year, George
That is
earned
retarded.
exactly the amount of money he had paid tithing on the year before.
Yeah, okay,
The argument
lady.
is, sow your money in the ground and you will reap returns multiple times over. Except, as an investment, you'd be better off burying your money in the actual ground. Because at least that way, there is a chance your dog may dig it up and give
Okay,
it.
way to make it not funny, John.
You should put it in Pelosi stocks. You can, if you start making laws, you can make that money go places.
Back to you, one day.
Basically, you'd be better off if you have a dog digging for gold in the ground from Japanese World War II era. I like the effort, Fido. I don't think you're going to find anything. That would be better suited for you.
But it can get even more predatory, because if, say, you don't have $1,000 or perhaps have significant debts, seed faith can still work for you.
I have a feeling.
If people don't know, there's what my YouTube recommends to me. It's straight wrestling stuff. That's what I spend most. Greg, why the Road Warriors did better in the NWA.
Somebody that wants a credit card debt wiped out, that if you'll use your faith as you sow the 1,000 on a credit card, as you use your faith, God's going to wipe out your credit card indebtedness.
Let me share an experience from a noble Latter-day Saint in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
You kind of feel like
She
if
tells
you
of her-
were gonna like if you're a Mormon General Authority, because the stories we always heard was like, oh, we didn't know if we were supposed to pay debt. or if we were supposed to pay our rent, if we're supposed to pay tithing, we put our faith in the Lord and we paid tithing. We thought we were going to lose our apartment, but the day before rent was due, a check came in the mail for the exact amount down to the penny of what we owed in debt. Like, I feel like obviously that story's bullshit, but if I were the general authority saying it, I would try to embellish it a little more believably. Like, it was actually, like, it wasn't the exact same amount. It was a little bit over, so
it was only $20 away, and then we could open a lemonade stand the next morning. We got all the way.
Yeah, just something like that.
Why would Ryan says, why would he use a woman's speech? He must be unaware of the Mormon oppressed women narrative.
Yeah.
No, that is true. I don't know. I
just
do
said
think
it
there
the
is
most-
something categorically different about these guys and the
mega pastors.
Yeah, the mega pastors.
I would have to, I don't know. I would have to think about it for a while before I could articulate it. But I was thinking the same thing. It's, I don't know. Just being in the Mormon Church, like, the people sincerely do view it as a faith-based thing. Like, it. I don't want the Mormon Church to tell people to pay tithing before they pay rent, but I do understand that most Mormons view it as a faith-based thing. But these mega pastors are just abjectly trying to scam you out of money.
Do you think general authority lifestyle is privileged or sacrifice?
It would suck to be a general authority. Like, they make a decent amount of money, right? It's a stipend, and it's from a religious organization, so I'm sure it's not taxed. There's benefits. Their kids get to go to church colleges for free and shit like that. So there are a bunch of perks. I don't think it's worth having to go to boring ass church meetings like every fucking day of your life until you literally die.
Yeah, in my view, their lifestyle is sacrifice. I would not trade, no matter like what amount of money or houses they have, I would not trade my life for their life.
No.
But those mega pastors, I don't know what they give, like a speech 1 hour every Sunday, and then they fly off in their jets to their mega mansions and houses and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're the righteous gemstones.
Like, they can just get away with like doing 1 or 2 speeches here and there, and then off to
my mom. I never realized this, but my mom told me, or she didn't tell me, she was talking to Morgan about it the other day. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Like, because my parents, we were not wealthy. My dad was working shit jobs, making shit money. There's four of us sharing one bedroom in this shitty apartment, and the baby sleeping in the room while my mom is pregnant with the next baby, right? Like, it wasn't like, we never went hungry. The electricity never went shut off. Everything was paid for. I had a great childhood, but we were definitely fairly poor. And my mom was telling Morgan the other day, like, oh my God, I feel so stupid. We paid tithing on our gross, or what, gross or net. I can't even remember which one's higher. Why can't I think
gross?
Gross. Yeah. So she would say we paid tithing on our gross instead of our net.
So, but there's a thing, like, having served in Mexico City and all that sorts of stuff, there was times where we told people who were very, very poor to pay their tithing, and they got in, and what they could get from the bishop's storehouse was more than what their pesos could get.
Well, for sure. And I will say, like,
a lot more.
Wendy Nilsson's speech that John Oliver had there, it was cringy and it was pretty dumb. But there is sort of an inkling of truth to this idea that, like, that's the kind of thing an ambitious person would say, right? Like, if you are so dead set on making a lot of money next year, like, I know what's going to happen. I have a plan in place, and I am so confident that I'm going to make this amount of money next year that I'm going to pay the tithing on that. It's sort of a marker of a driven person, and paying that tithing is sort of putting your money where your mouth is, literally. And I don't for a second believe that it was the exact amount, but there's something.
They have like the story of this guy, and they say like the people in the ward came over, and he gives this whole story about how the very next day some people in the ward came over and needed some work done to pass it out or something like that. Maybe because they're not allowed to say, but I absolutely know. I had a family, we baptized them. They lived in like a dirt floor room with water that they just got out of buckets from rain and all that sort of stuff. We told them that they still had to pay tithing if they wanted to get baptized. And they paid tithing. The amount of money of tithing that they were paying, they got way more groceries than it would have cost for. And I don't know if that's how it's set up in Africa and all these places that people are freaking out about them saying it, but I'm guessing that it largely is, that they have like a bishop's storehouse that people can get the food if it is. But it is kind of in those ranges where you start making just barely enough money, and then it would have been nice to have the extra nest egg that it actually gets.
Yeah, no, it would. I do understand there's a value in being able to like
the mega super poor. They make up for it, but then when just like barely poor, that's where it's tough.
So it would be. I don't know. I guess there are some advantages to being. You have to be a lot more budget conscious if you're going to set 10% of your income aside that you are never going to see again. It'd be awesome if the church once you get older, it's like a secret they keep from you. Like I don't know, you hit 55 or whatever, and they're like, "Congrats, we actually took all that tithing and put it into a Roth IRA in your name, and here you go." That'd be great. I wish they would do something like that, but they're not gonna. They definitely don't need your tithing.
I've heard that. I mean, Cardin says he pays off of a surplus and all that, his tithing off surplus, and I think a bunch of people. I think they're getting more lenient about that, or
it's
let it fly or let it go.
It's not even a let it fly or let it go thing. It's the implication is always like you pay on what you think you should. Like make sure you're good with the Lord, and so that sort of implies. I think it pressures most people with scruples into paying more than they think they should or whatever. But I don't know. I do remember, I will say, I felt it was intentionally dishonest to the church. And on my mission, I remember reading one of the manuals. I can't remember. We were teaching about tithing. And they had like a quote from Joseph F. Smith or someone talking about tithing. And they said, pay 10% on ellipses your income, ellipses, and then it finished the quote. There was like 2 ellipses around one word, and I went and looked up the full quote, and the stuff they omitted was like, on your surplus when you can, basically. And I was like, you dickheads.
Yeah. Let's see here. I was keep listening to that one. Let's watch how the patriarchy works.
Welcome to a day in the life of the Mormon patriarchy. I wake up every morning and I kick my wife out of bed and command her to make me breakfast. A reminder to keep sweet and obey for all the things that I sacrificed for her. So this is when she earns my first sign of affection. A newborn baby boy and future patriarch begins to cry. So of course I let my wife take care of him while I read my patriarchal blessing. I finally get up to get ready for church. I'm looking forward to meet with the brethren and talk about how many wives we want to have in the afterlife. I take a massive break, and as always, I read my patriarchal blessing to remind me of my eternal destiny as patriarch who presides and rules over women, especially my wife. I finally come home after long church meetings with the brethren, where we get to decide how to preside over the sisters. Suddenly, I notice that my wife looks overwhelmed. Again, who the heck knows why? So I sit down with her to have a companionship in the Lord, where she has the opportunity to express her true emotions. As I listen to her, the Spirit warms my bosom, and I feel inspired to remind her about her God-given roles and responsibilities. I feel inspired to read the Bible verse where it says that wives must submit to their husbands as Christ submitted to the church. I think I did a pretty good job since she went straight to the kitchen to cook me dinner. Those tears of joy truly warm my heart.
White Mormon Utah is going to host the Winter Olympics 8 years from now, and our governor, Spencer Cox, is already embarrassing us. He is in Italy right now observing how they're doing the Olympics, and he took part in this press conference where he was asked what I think is a pretty fair question, but he obviously didn't like it at all. Here's the question.
Hi, Christoph Becker from Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung in Frankfurt, Germany. I've been to Utah. It's a very welcoming place.
Sunni or Shia?
The overall impression that's emanating from your press conference is a very welcoming impression. Now, the impression we get right now over here in Europe from the United States does not emanate from Utah necessarily, but much more from Washington. And we see photos or pictures or films, newsreels of kindergarten kids who are taken off the streets and they are deported to camps, waiting to be deported into different countries. So it's actually quite the opposite of a welcoming nation, a nation that, the world knew as welcoming, doesn't seem to be so keen on welcoming people anymore. So how do you navigate this this difference of the vision that you're presenting here and the reality that's playing out in America at the moment?
Notice how kind and gentle and reaffirming he was in the way he
shut the fuck up.
He's obviously aware of just how sensitive poor widow Spencer can be about these things. I mean, the very first thing he said was how welcoming Utah was when he visited, and then reaffirmed that this unwelcoming attitude isn't coming out of Utah, but more so out of Washington. I mean, I think this was an extremely generous way of asking the question, but even still, notice how annoyed Spencer got right away.
Sure. Look, we care deeply about the political situation that's happening in the United States right now. The entire world watches the United States maybe differently than other countries, and so everything gets highlighted more outside of the United States. I know the media loves this stuff. It gets a lot of clicks. I hate the questions you ask the athletes. These are kids out there competing. I think you should be asking them about their sports and about their competition, and let the politics take care of the politics.
Oh, it's obviously not nearly as bad as how the media is portraying it just to get the clicks. Plus, why are you even asking important questions?
It is a hack question, you dipshit. It's a hack question, and they go around doing it. I saw they were doing it to a bunch of like celebrities at Cannes. They did it to Mads Mikkelsen. They did it to Neil Patrick Harris, and all the celebrities are backing away from it nowadays. Like, stop asking us shit like that. Like, knock it off.
I would have been so much more mean than that. There's so much you could say. Like, well, we thought about being as welcoming as you are in Germany, but you guys are overrun, and your entire country is fucked forever. It's done. Germany's done. All right. Or you could be like, shut up, nerd. You think we're going to deport people who are coming to the Olympics, you fucking idiot?
People are getting tired of reporters egging on questions like that. And this guy acting like they're supposed, what's he supposed to say? Ryan fucking Josiah dipshit. Like the hackery of the stuff drives me nuts, man.
He's supposed to kowtow. Sorry, I guess, how would Candace Owens pronounce that? Koto or something? I don't know.
Why don't you take a politically charged question in the middle of some other entire conference from some foreign person who's trying to jack with like the politics of your current president or something like that? It's so stupid. But anyway, last thing I want to talk about, did you ever see this like clip with
Did you flip? What's German for quiet, piggy?
Not to watch like the whole clip or anything, but it's one of Andrew Wilson's pet things he's always talking about, getting back to like all the women stuff and all that sorts of deal. Andrew Wilson's arguments here of monopoly of force.
Yeah.
Just to listen
that there have been many revolutionary fights and slave revolts.
Yes.
Okay. Can you name any of them that were led or fought by women ever in history?
No, I don't believe so.
Ever in history?
No, I don't believe so.
One time in history?
No, I don't believe so.
So then what's going on?
Boudica, the Celts, they fought the Romans.
No, that was men, guarantee it. We can look it up.
Was a queen.
I mean, like they were
having a queen. Hang on. Having a queen there doesn't mean that the people who have the monopoly on force weren't men, because it's always men who have the monopoly on force. And so the reason she can't point to any time ever in history that slave revolts and things like this were ever in operation by women. Women can never successfully take their freedom back from a patron.
Has he never watched that? Was it Wanda Sykes movie about the Woman King? Has he never watched that?
Those women, Matt Walsh highlighted them in his first episode about the history of race. They were some of the main people rounding up slaves.
I know. How do you? Was that the one example for?
How's my German starbase called? Halt dein Maul, Schwein.
Halt deine Maul, Schwein.
This is probably better. You just go like Hitler, and you get a little bit better accent for that. Sorry,
accents are always easier to do, very exaggerated. No, with the Woman King thing, it's hilarious because it's like, how did you not find a better example than that of like a woman in power? You picked quite possibly the worst example to sort of woke wash into this nonsense.
Yeah, but I mean, just the reason I bring this up is Andrew Wilson kind of always has a point. Because I mean, I saw on the Mormon newscast with Bill Rill and Rebecca Biblioteca them talking about you need to give women more power. You need to give women more power, and so they get and just the word "give" in that.
I know give
like,
implies. Plus, it's. I mean, you have hammered this point into oblivion, but you're like this. You know what would make this pyramid scheme better? Diversity.
Yeah. Give women more power. I mean, it's always ultimately get the leisure, and it kind of like plays into the stuff of the women at the Olympics and all that stuff. And I'm all for 100% for women's sports, just like I'm for high school sports, just like I'm for whatever sports. But like the peak level, the top level, something that happens with those chess masters. Like there's not a men's league in chess masters and a women's league. There's a women's league and there's an everybody's league. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's ultimately true for the NBA and for the NFL and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, it's totally true. Like if you found a woman that could compete in the NBA, there's no fucking way the NBA would shy away from that. That'd be like a lucrative thing to do. Yeah. And nobody would argue it. Like I would think it'd be cool if you found a woman that could compete in the NBA. That's one of the coolest athletic things to ever happen in ever.
Yeah,
right?
Sweet.
So I'd be like, holy shit! Even if she was like bottom 10% of NBA players, that would be amazing.
What's her name in to shoot a 3 off the bench or something? Like I could see that happening, or even like perhaps a female kicker, but I doubt there'd ever be one that can kick as far as any of those guy kickers anymore. There's kickers in the NFL blow my mind because there's so many good kickers.
Or that kicker for the Seahawks.
Yeah, scored all the points.
He scored all the points and didn't get a single fucking mention.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it's that general concept of you were saying it earlier. Was Flip saying it earlier? Like, women don't need no man, and please help lift us to give us all the power, and it's paradoxical.
Yeah, well, I don't know. The Andrew Wilson point he always brings up is that you only I don't know. Superman, the only reason Superman doesn't rule the world is because he is benevolent. That's it. That's like he could do it. He could cripple and destroy with his powers, every military installment in seconds. He could murder every able-bodied man in seconds on the world and then just have an entire world of a harem. Like he could do terrible things. He doesn't because he's a good guy.
Yeah, exactly. I think I had something here on like it's too long to read, but this person talking about like the top 100 chess players.
RFM asked if that was Greg Matsson's good-looking brother. I'll be honest with you, RFM. I think if you listen to much Andrew Wilson, you'd probably like Greg. You'd probably like Greg Mattson quite a bit better than him.
Yeah, he's like an orthodox Jacob Hansen. In fact, he tried to debate Jacob Hansen at one point, as did Jay Dyer. I was actually talking to Jacob Hansen about debating Jay Dyer, and Jay Dyer just had a huge debate last night with Tim Pool. They got into it big time, and it got all the way into that's fallacy. That's a two-coque fallacy. That's a fallacy. That's a do you know what epistemology is type stuff. Like Jay Dyer doing his kind of typical stuff that he does to kind of dice people up on if they get their epistemology from anywhere beyond Orthodox Christianity, that everything's a fallacy. But yeah, Jay Dyer, yeah, you should listen to Jay Dyer and Tim Pool. They kind of go after it for a while, and it's I don't know. I actually think Tim Pool kind of defends it well enough because Tim Pool says, I don't really believe in Christianity, but I believe in God, and I think Christianity is one of the best paths to that God or something like that. And Jay says that's fallacy. That's fallacy.
Says, thank God for our yellow sun.
Yeah, Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just a long thing on like the top. It is kind of weird, like why chess is so male dominated, but that's probably autism dominated.
It might be more of an interesting. I don't know that I would. Well, part of it is also like chess is like a high IQ sport, and if you look at the IQ bell curve, there's more really, really stupid men and more really, really smart men. But you go to the middle, like there's more average women than there are average men.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the autism does play some into it, and there's one of the points Peterson would always make with it is just generally just somebody who cares that hard or has that much interest or has that much relentless attack at something that's actually kind of ultimately meaningless usually tends to be men, and that's not even, as Peterson would put it, is when there's so many different men up at top levels of superpower or something like that, the question is what's wrong with those men more than why can't women get there? You know what I mean? Because most times those men are just crazy people. But Harmeet Dillon, the same person I was talking
People
about
will be
earlier,
like, did you know that Bobby Fischer hated the Jews? I'd be like, I'd be surprised if he didn't, honestly.
exactly. Harmeet Dillon, the same person I was talking about earlier, who was just talking about the medical schools, she said she was actually the representative of James Damore at Google.
Really?
And she said, I never heard because I had a bet with somebody. RFM says Rebecca treasures her award. Yeah, Rebecca is an autistic woman for sure. And we love the autism around here. What's that?
Oh, I just said, yeah, she's an autistic hero for sure.
She's an autistic hero. But I always wondered because I hadn't heard. I made a bet with somebody online, one of those bets that I make with people and they never take them. So, like when I bet John Larson $5,000 that the Salt Lake wouldn't dry up when he said it would, and they just ignore me or something like that. But I bet somebody online that James Damore would win his lawsuit against Google after he got fired for explaining to Google after a DEI meeting that the reason they had less women there was due to interest and not due to some sort of discrimination. And Harmeet Dillon represented him and won that because they fired him after asking for feedback. They fired him for writing what they put on the internet as a screed. He wrote a screed about.
Was it the Mormon Stories podcast community mod team that was running Google at the time?
Yeah, because all he did was say what the actual truth in the scientific literature about the social psychology of that.
He said things like women are higher in neuroticism and women are higher in openness and men are higher in conscientious and all that shit. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
We're playing slatists around here.
And they got extra mad because that he used the word neuroticism, which women are more neurotic, which is a term that came from the Big Five in psychology. It's one of the terms from he had a undergraduate degree in it, and he was talking about the actual term of what the thing was and why it might be something that doesn't appeal to them to be in those offices in that type of way.
Well, okay. Well, here's the thing. So neuroticism has that negative connotation, but like openness has a positive connotation. And I can tell you right now, like, generally speaking, women are higher in trait openness than men. And if you say, nobody's going to get mad if you say that. Like it's pointless.
He didn't win. Grok's getting pedantic on me. He didn't win it. It was settled out of court.
Okay, Grok.
Yeah.
At some point you're like, is there a point in pointing out these double standards? You know, like how,
like just pointing people out, like what the actual truth of stuff.
Well,
is?
yeah. If you're talking about the big five traits, and you say, men are less neurotic than women in general population counts. Like, what the fuck? You say men are less open than women in general population counts. Nobody bats a fucking eye.
RFM says, "Oh, you mean neurotic in a positive way?" No, we mean neurotic in
a clinical way.
The Big Five personality scale. The Big Five personality, which is the only thing. It's what Jonathan Haidt uses when he talks about the religious mind and all that stuff that John DeLynn has talked about on his channel. Here it is. Just have the Big Five personality scale. Oops. Share this tab instead. Accept all. Openness, neuroticism, conscientiousness, agreeableness, extroversion. Neuroticism is one of them. And they called him racist and fired, or sexist and fired him for using that term when he was just pulling up stuff that was in the actual literature. Let's see here.
I also was active in using these civil rights laws, Title VII specifically, and the state analogs, to challenge DEI policies by big tech companies. So, for example, Google fired a client of mine who was a white man, and he was fired really because he had heterodox views concerning the importance of diversity in the workplace, to include viewpoint diversity, and also pushed back on being scapegoated as a white man when he's a young white man and in fact done nothing wrong to be tarred and feathered with the sins of past generations. And so we brought a case against Google for their discrimination, and the case was successful, but it changed the national conversation on these issues. And then
so that's the first that I'd heard that it had been successful, because I didn't know, but I made a $5,000 bet with somebody on that.
It's funny. The first time I heard Harmy Dillon's name, I was like, "What kind of fucking name is Harmy?" I really thought it was like a Utah name, because it sounds to me like, I was thinking, because I didn't see how it was spelled, so I was like, "What is that? Harmeigh or something? That's a fucking Utah name." And then I look her up. Oh, she's Indian. Okay, never mind. My bad.
Radio RFM says, I feel like I have a big five personality. All five of them?
You do have.
You don't have the agreeableness, which just
that's really funny.
You'll tell people when you think they're full of shit or whatever.
I took a very long
maybe
test.
In a comical way. What's that?
I took a very long test on this, and I scored really, really high in agreeableness.
You did?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think it's accurate, honestly. Like, my personality online, I don't know. I will argue with somebody in person. I really will. So I don't know. Maybe it wasn't accurate. I'd have to retake it or something. It was like the Jordan Peterson one.
I don't think I ever took an official one.
Yeah. And I was super high in all of the traits where, like, low in conscientiousness, high in extroversion, low in neuroticism, and I can't remember openness, but it was what was it? Every single personality trait that I had is like, people with this level of personality usually skew more leftist. And
one of the things with it is, one of the reasons they say it's what's used scientifically is because they think only things where they can find the measurable variables with it. So there might be more things. And actually, I think one of the extra areas that are coming out of it, I've heard Jonathan Haidt talk about, is just the concept of disgust in itself. Disgust might be like just a whole other category in this thing. But, well, I mean, just like it's okay to be agreeable and disagreeable, like all this stuff on these scales it's okay to be either way on all of them.
It's not about being okay or not okay. This is all.
Yeah, it's like, do you dare to stand? Are you somebody who will say no, that's not true? If they hear something that's
Charles told me agreeing with yourself all the time doesn't make you high in agreeableness.
RFM says, "Don't you agree? It's okay to be agreeable. Don't you agree?"
Yeah, I remember Morgan.
Negative. Every one of them has a positive and negative. In some situations, it's good for you. But that's what James Damore's point was. It's what Peterson's point was, is about maybe women don't want to be sitting in rooms coding like a psycho for 85 hours a week. And that's not bad to say. Maybe they are more healthy that they're that way instead of Elon Musk brains.
I remember we were having an argument like years ago. I feel like when you have a stance on something, you always just think you're right about it. And I was like, well, yeah, that's what having a stance is. Like, I wouldn't have a stance if I didn't think I was right about it. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong about this, but killing babies is bad. Throwing that little fucker into a microwave and turning it on, I think that's bad, but I'm probably wrong.
I don't want to live in a world where all the women in it are Elon Musk brains.
No.
Like, nobody wants to live in that world at all. We appreciate that they're not the types in general, most often, that want to sit in it. Like, a lot of the stuff, like I was saying with the chess, is it's not that they're not smart enough to get it at all. It's that maybe they're not autistic enough to sit there and do it 95 hours a week just to get slightly better than the other guy, because that's something that has to do with, what is that, the aggressiveness of certain types of autistic brains who are just out there just to be slightly better than the other one. And
you never watched Dragon Ball, did you?
No, I didn't.
You were.
Is that worth watching? Like as an adult, or is that like you had to be a kid?
You wouldn't like it. There's a lot.
Like as an adult, I still like what's it called? Avatar. You know.
Oh yeah. No, Avatar is one of those ones that's just it's thematically great. The narrative is awesome. The characters are great. Zuko has one of the best redemption arcs I've ever seen in anything. The whole thing is, I would recommend that to adults. I never recommend Dragon Ball to adults because it's just schlocky. And it gets dumber as it goes on. But the whole there's Goku and Vegeta, right? They're rivals, and they're constantly just training. They're autistically focused on being the strongest, and saving the world is sort of a side benefit to Goku. You know, he's like, yeah, I definitely don't want the world to die. I like the people there. But he'll be fighting the fucking bad guy, and somebody else will be fighting the bad guy first. And then he's like, okay, it's my turn to fight him. And he gives him one of the senzu beans. It just heals you instantly. He's like, here, bad guy, take this. I want to fight you at your full power. And the consequences of this are that if the bad guy wins, he's going to blow up the entire world. And Goku's like, no, I still want to be the best. And it's just that he's so fucking autistically focused on being the strongest that he retardedly agrees to do. And you don't want a whole world of Gokus. You want some of the people to be like Krillin and be practical and be like, I'm gonna cheap shot this fucker when he's not looking, because otherwise the whole world's gonna blow up.
Yeah, you know, this is the general concept of the Italian elite theory. The concept that if you have a king, or if you have somebody like a Trump or something like that, even though they say like, well, he's just out for himself. Yeah, but himself is he wants to win for the United States.
Yeah, he does want to,
you know. He's a narcissist and he's psycho for his one stinking thing. But the secondary fallout of that is he saves the world. But the other worst thing is, like you said, he might be an idiot and give somebody else enough power to destroy it just because he wants to beat him. But the secondary,
like, we get into war with Russia, and he's like, we want to prove that we're the best, so we're going to give you half of our arsenal
just to show you our people can blow you out of the water. Yeah, but yeah, that's what that general concept is, that whole entire thing. Because people always talk about that, like the difference between like a king who's somebody who's an owner of the world or the thing that you're around versus a managerial class that's just there to take out whatever money they can from the thing and expand the bureaucracy. But anyway,
that's what people will do with Goku as a character. They're like, he's not motivated by the correct things. He's not truly motivated to save the world. He's just motivated to become the strongest. Like, well, yeah, but part of becoming the strongest is saving the world. That's like a happy byproduct. So, you know, it's got some flaws, but his flaws also are
That's exactly what it is. And they also kind of say, well, you're not going to get any change in the world from these bottom ground up revolutions or something like that. You're only going to get change from another elite who's going to come be that idiot who wants to spend every single second of their waking lives to fight for hopefully something that's aligned with what you
RFM, I'm not good at Trump. I cannot do a good Trump impression.
You don't do a Trump? I guess I've never noticed that.
No, I try. I just do a weird accent. He was like, wait, Trump is from Boston? No, RFM. Here's the thing. I have not been around it enough. I can't distinguish between a New York and a Boston accent. Because really? I did it to one of my friends back east, and I was like impersonating one of our New York guys. I was like, hey, yeah, we got this thing going on, and we got to go over there to test out the rad levels over here. And he's like, idiot, Bill's from New York, not Boston. I was like,
that sounded like New York to me. Maybe I don't know.
I'm saying I don't know. I don't know what I was doing. So I can impersonate specific people. I can only do exaggerated accents. If I listen to a Boston accent long enough right now, I could do a decent impersonation of it. But I could not. Like if I heard a Boston accent.
Try to say the line, do you like apples? Well, I got her number. How do you like them apples? First one, just go off of your gut. We're doing theater class. This is how you learn how to take over the world. I learned this from Star Trek. If you get really good at theater, you become somebody who becomes a captain. Do one of them, just go with your gut of what a New York way of saying it is, and then the other one.
Okay. What's the line again?
It's from Good Will Hunting. Do you like apples? Well, I got her number. How do you like those apples?
New York. Do you like apples? Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples?
I think that's pretty New Yorky.
Okay.
I am the world's expert judge.
Okay, I'll try Boston. I don't know what I'm doing. Do you like fuck? Do you like apples? I got a number. How about them apples?
I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good.
I don't know.
That's what I'd gone for too, because like the number on R is more like number. Like a Bill Burr. You got to do just Bill Burr.
Okay, actually, let me think of it, because we actually have a boss who's from Boston.
If
I try to impersonate him, I can kind of do the Boston accent. He's always telling us that, good job, you guys. You really knocked it out of the park on that one.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so if I think of a specific person that I've heard speak enough, I can do it.
Either that guy or Bill Burr, but who's the New York
Bill
guy?
Burr! No, we're just walking around here like, we're in Boston now. We don't like a fucking.
I use West Side Story. When you're a jet all the way from your first cigarette to your last dying day. That's a New York accent, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be. That's
To
our
me,
white gangs, man. We need to restart the Jets.
To me, it's
the
not,
Jets. We're the Jets. we're the Jets.
To me, it's not New York versus Boston. It's my fat, retarded New York supervisor versus Bill Burr. Yeah, I could do a Bill Burr. So next time I'm trying to do a Boston accent, I'll just do Bill Burr. I can do Bill Burr, all right. No, you just yell things like that, and you make everything sound like it's the end of the fucking world. That is white liberal women.
Then you say number and chowder. Chowder.
Chowder.
Yeah, you can do it. You got it. Do Minnesota fast. Last thing before we go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Minnesota. That's.
No,
I gotta get myself.
You gotta go
hold
from
on
like
there,
that. This
buddy.
is skater class. This is
hold
how you
on there, buddy.
champion.
I gotta get myself in a Fargo mood right now. I don't know if I can do that. I'm not. I haven't listened to many Minnesotans speak lately. I mostly talk to Risto over text, and he doesn't have much of an accent.
Yeah. Louisiana, go.
I'm just thinking of James Carvajal. He's from Louisiana, isn't he?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He's fuck Trump. That's all I know how to say in a Louisianan accent. You got to do things like really drawl like that and not say your S's properly.
I guess to round it all out, I guess we'll end on a fuck Trump in a Louisiana accent. So
fuck Trump. Let's go fuck the Trump. Oh, sorry, different continent.
Charles says the Minnesota accent is much different now. It goes like,
oh yeah, I'll do a Minnesotan accent.
Uh-oh.
This country is bullshit.
That's a London.
We demand reparations now.
That sounds like London to me.
It's hard to distinguish.
Yeah. All right, I gotta go walk a dog. He's starting to go nuts.
All right.
20 eyes are glued to the screen.
I think
you're overshooting what we got.
I think it's 18 eyes right now. I'm looking. It says 90.
Hey, by the end and stuff, if you're there, we might shoot over 200 views by tomorrow, which sometimes happens. But you want to know what? Quaco got us 1,000 one time.
Yeah, Quaco.
We had Cardin on. Jacob's gotten us like 1,000 one time. Who else had on? Jonathan will get us up there sometime.
Yeah, next time you come and we're shitting on Bill Reel, bring Bill Reel so we can shit on him to him.
Yeah,
I would really love to just talk to him about his whole crime.
RFM.
I am fascinated by that.
RFM, come on, and see if you can outdo Quaco numbers for our little dipshit channel of assholes over here.
We'll shit talk Maven all you want too. Like I know you're into that.
We'll be completely nice to Bill Reel, 100% nice to. We're always nice overly nice to RFM.
We'll be nice to Bill Reel if he comes on, but like we're also. I'm gonna ask him about the Crying King because that's too funny to not ask.
Bill Reel is a strange dude for us. Well, actually, John Lynn too, because every one of these things where we like make fun of him pushing a prostitute for trauma therapy, he also has tons of base takes all the time. So
he does have some pretty good takes every now and then.
Yeah. So
Starbase, Bill saved a baby once, but does get a stiffy over crying women. So
Harvey says, I can say nothing about Mabel. We would not push you about Mabel.
I was joking. We just love shit talking her because she's insane.
Well, we would avoid the subject, but also you would be smeared just for even
until my book comes out. The names are fucked. I don't know who R.W. Shaw is, but he says bring Jonathan on sometime. I miss seeing his stuff. Jonathan can come on anytime he wants.
Jonathan's always Jonathan.
Although last time he came on, he fucking roasted me with his puppet.
If people don't know, they might know. Maybe tells out of school, but we lift a lot of Jonathan's stuff, and we're here to regurgitate it to keep you all up on it.
Yeah, the group chat where Chris sends the StreamYard link, Jonathan's part of it, so he's always able if he wants to.
Yeah, and a lot of times we're covering his beautiful trouble stuff that he's being a scoundrel about during the week. So.
Bring on RFM and Brad Whitbeck.
Oh yeah, RFM and Brad Whitbeck. We can have to. You know, Brad Whitbeck said he wanted to box me one time. He was gonna. Kwaku was gonna box Forrest, and I was gonna box Brad Whitbeck.
And the only person that's ever challenged me to box was a 55-year-old woman on Mormon Stories, because we were talking about men and women sports shit, and she's like, "Oh, I'm pretty athletic. Do you think you could beat me? I'm a 55-year-old woman, and I'm this tall, and I'm this heavy." And I was like, lady, look, yeah, I do think I could be. And it's not because you're not like, you're more athletic than I am. I promise you. I am not. And I'm fat. I have tits. But yeah, I could beat you. Okay, we'll set it up. I want to challenge you. I'm not going to. I'm not going to punch a 55-year-old short lady. I can't do it.
It was Brad Whitbeck who suggested boxing me Forrest was going to box Kwaku, and I was going to box Brad Whitbeck for a, what do you call it, like some money thing or something like that.
Starbase says I do not picture Brad as athletic. That's because you're not fat. All right. If you get fat, because as soon as you get fat, you picture everybody who is not fat as athletic. So I picture Brad as athletic because I bet he could walk up like a flight of stairs without getting winded.
I think he looks pretty athletic. He's taller than you'd expect too, because Carden's way tall. Carden's like 6'7" or 6'8".
Well,
so
and I bet he could bend over to tie his shoes without like holding his breath and then coming up like. Ugh. So to me, that's athletic.
What I'm gonna say is right now, like he was suggesting that, and Forrest was gonna do it, and then I guess Kwaku backed out of it, and I would have been the undercard with Brad, and I felt confident. So
yeah, I know. I don't think Brad's nice enough, but yeah, I think he would have creamed him.
He's a nice dude. I think we both would have been too nice to hit each other hard. So, but that's how that goes. Maybe it'll happen one day. Anyway. We got to get to rolling. Oh, I got to get rolling anyway.
Brad smokes too much.
Brad smokes too much? Well, I'm sitting there smoking this whole entire time, so I guess we're evenly matched again right there. So we could bring that all back out. Get it going. I'll punch right through the bulletproof vest.
Maybe we should have, if Brad smokes too much, maybe I should fight him. We discover once and for all whether the drinkers or the smokers are tougher.
Flip could box Carden. He's tall enough. He's almost tall enough.
Yeah,
and then we just have to get you.
Flip's built like a linebacker. He wouldn't even have to train.
Carden's big too. Carden's a big dude, man. He's huge.
Oh, I thought you said box Brad. Yeah.
No, yeah. I said flip box Carden. And then you'd have to take on Jacob, man. Well, Jacob would be tough. Jacob's an actual trainer.
You want me to take on Jacob?
Yeah, that's all.
I couldn't take on Jacob.
That's all that's left.
I already told you I'm fat.
Well, you'd have like 3 months to get in shape.
Get in shape, but Jacob trains. He's into jujitsu. I'd have to train for at least like 4 days before I could kick his ass. I'm challenging you, Jacob. I'm gonna come to your house and commit a crime. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm challenging you to fight. I'll kick your ass, Jacob. That's how confident I am. Well, you're gonna use the priesthood to defeat me.
Whenever that was 100% gonna happen. And then Starbase said he'd roll with Jacob. Starbase is in.
I don't know
but
what belt he is.
I think Kwaku backed out of it because Forrest was down. I think Forrest trains too. So
Does he? I need to do that. My hobbies are so lame.
I don't train. I don't think I'd do good against somebody who's very well trained and you had to wrestle and stuff like that. But I think just kind of an average dude like Brad, I think I'd be all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, is he a blue or purple belt? I don't know what exactly he is. You can go watch him. He fought with who's that dude? Jacob
Isbell.
Jacob Isbell. Yeah, they fought. And Jacob Hansen lost to him, but I guess Isbell's a really good wrestler anyway. So
he's a tough guy. He's nuts, but yeah, he's tough.
Yeah, Jacob was just on like some show. Ryan says he'd roll with Jacob, but thought makes my back, knees, and everything else ache. Oh, but Jacob just showed up on like a show he was on a show with Jim Bennett, and he had a black eye from practicing. So
Jacob Hansen was with Jim Bennett again?
Yeah, and they were on the same side because they were going after evangelicals and their Trinity.
Oh.
As on
if I was ever on the side with Jim Bennett on anything, I'd start questioning it. Like, fuck, I guess the evangelicals are right.
I don't know if Risto watched it or not. I know Risto kind of doesn't like their takes on but like, yeah, Jim Bennett and him on Jim Bennett's channel. What's that called? The thing where they're trying to do cross-sectional stuff, and they're completely friendly with each other.
Gay Butt Sex City.
Yeah, they were on Gay Butt Sex City, and totally on the same page. No fighting because they were together against the Trinitarians, the creedal Christians, as Jacob calls them. So
how come Sodom gets all the fucking heat?
Risto says probably some deep takes. Black guy from
fuck! Did he go to Bill Reel's dominatrix? And she just beat the shit out of him while telling him his dick was too small or something.
That's how he gets the job.
Jacob has a humiliation kink. Punch my eye and tell me I'm gonna get sent home from my mission for not waking up at 6:30, please. Oh, tell me I'm an unworthy priesthood holder. Yes, I did have to repeat the sacrament prayer 8 times. Oh no.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, RFM, come on and beat Kwaku's numbers. Kwaku came on to tell us all of his woo and that George Washington and Thomas Jefferson are going to hell. So he was on for like 4 hours. And Jacob's been on like 3-4 times. And Jonathan once in a while. And who else has been on? Maven. You heard of Maven? Marty comes on all the time.
That's where I learned that I'm worse than a rapist the first time.
Oh yeah.
What a miserable person.
Bloomy says you're on a roll tonight, Jared. So anyway, I gotta run and walk this dog. He's going nuts. So Thanks for hanging out. RFM, and for Blue Meanie, and for Ryan Wimmer, and for Starbase Kolov, and Risto, and RW Shaw, and Charles out there. We've seen Charles floating around. Troy's always around.
Hey, so are you gonna your next dog you're doing this Huck Finn sort of thing? What are you gonna name him? Is it gonna be a character from Huck Finn? I think it should be
this guy's all black, so I can't.
I think it should be Huck Finn's. I think it should be Huck Finn's best friend.
Jared.